This episode is brought to you by the Smile Death Lifestyle brand, a small brand trying to live big dreams. With fresh new winter gear that just dropped on the website, check out www.smilexdeath.com for all sorts of swag, stickers, and car fashion accessories. We also just dropped the Smile Death Car Shop Kuroshi collaboration windbreaker. Again, that is www.smilexdeath.com. What the fuck is up, everybody? It's your boy Damien. This is episode 32. We are doing a guest, which we don't do very, very often, but I'm stoked to be having another guest. So this is pre-recorded, and we're going to be dropping this on our normal Tuesday, but also dropping this, of course, on all streaming platforms. If you do have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that fun shit, there's like 17 of them that we're on, and I don't even know half of them. So if you're on any of that shit, please support, check us out, follow, do the whole fucking like, subscribe bullshit. I don't even know what they do for that shit. But anyway, let's dive into this. So today we are joined by one of our close friends, he is media, but he's more than media. So I wanted to bring him on for a section that is not just a media spotlight. I wanted to bring him on as a full guest because we have a lot of history and he has a lot of history, and I just thought it'd be a really good episode. So we are going to bring on Mr. Barry Allen, aka Digital Adrenaline, aka Mr. Worldwide, Noodle Master. I mean, he's got so many names. He is a Noodle Master too. But anyway, let's bring my co-host in, the wonderful Chad Chimahowski. I went low. Did you notice that?
Yeah. It wasn't really like that.
wasn't power metal this time.
No, not at all. I know how I feel about it. It wasn't the same old intro. That
I'm trying new stuff, Chad. Just embrace it. We'll see what happens. I'm in the different mood because we're still in the wake of everybody attacking me about hating cars. So,
well, you deserve every bit of hate that came from that.
I got a couple supporters, but they won't speak up. They're quiet. I don't like that.
Because they know they're wrong.
I need my people to rise up. You know what I mean? Against cars.
Yeah, they're wrong and they know it. So
fuck that movie. Anyway, let's bring in our second co-host. I don't know. He's Lord Shiny Pants, but he's also the pizza master. I know that he's been talking about urethral sounding with pizza, and I don't understand how that works. Maybe a breadstick, but either way, we're going to bring him in. Mr. James Carper. It's a Mario, big streamer guy right now. Whoa! Oh, fucking A. Fucking A. I deserve that.
That was the sickest ka-chow I've ever seen.
It was pretty sick.
Yeah,
it was pretty sick.
That one.
Yeah, well, you still suck. I love you, though. So let's fucking go right into this. Let's bring Barry in. I know he's sitting. Actually, he's not even. I think he's driving right now. Let's go see.
Probably simming.
Hopefully, yeah. Barry, what is up, Mr. Barry? Welcome. Oh, good to see you there. Or I didn't notice you there.
Nice to see you.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
Get out of the way, bitch.
Yeah, beep.
Beep, beep.
Get the fuck out of the way.
Don't mind you straight.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, yell at him. Welcome to the Pile Up Podcast. This is the first time I think we've had you on, right? Yes. Yeah, correct. It is. Yep. So, yeah, welcome, man. This will be pretty sweet. Yeah. So, I guess we'll jump in. I met you a long time ago, and I don't even remember where or through who. I believe it might have been
5
Jeremy.
Years plus.
Yeah. It's been a while. And I think it was through Jeremy, our mutual friend Jeremy.
Or Rich. It would either had to be one or the other.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and I met you, media stuff. That's what I knew you as. And then I found out that you're way more than just media, which was really cool. And then we kind of formed a friendship. And then from there, history was made.
Right. Yeah, I've been kind of a jack of all trades for quite a while. So I've kind of had to learn different things on my own just to keep the ball rolling. So.
Yeah. And I also knew it was kind of cool because you intermixed with a lot of our other groups too, you know, like some of the businesses and other groups of friends. You were like, you know, working for this company that we knew a bunch of people, and you're over here, and that was really cool too.
I've been in the automotive industry for 20 years now, so
yeah,
I've been around for a little while.
Mm-hmm. You ever work at any parts stores?
Yeah, that's where I started.
Okay, which one? I think I knew this. I don't remember.
Advanced Auto and AutoZone.
Nice. Me too, buddy.
A 2-year stint at both of them.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Did you ever steal anything from them?
Allegedly?
Or helped?
No.
Somebody else?
No.
Chad, we're not trying to get our guests incarcerated.
Years ago.
It has been over 8 years. I will say. The statute of limitations has passed.
There you
I didn't kill anyone.
So yeah, I stole a fucking engine from AutoZone. I don't give a fuck.
I ordered a Jasper engine and then I fucking stole that shit. Oh, I wish, man. No, that's funny.
They were very tight on that stuff. The manager, the store manager, the one who ran the store with the keys and everything, actually got popped for stealing like 28 grand in merch. Like,
hell yeah.
I feel like that
parts,
happens at AutoZone.
Tools, everything.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
He would just take it at the end of the night. Like, he would just take like $50 worth of stuff and did that for like 4 years.
Yeah.
So,
jeez.
because he also did all the books and taught everyone that started to work there that if the books were off by $50,
sure,
it's okay.
Loss prevention told me we have a scale, you know.
It was off every week, like,
right. Jeez.
Yeah, that was wild. Like, they came in and arrested him at the store. Like,
hell yeah,
a whole scene. It was wild.
Yeah,
they just rolled in with like 7 cops. I'm like, oh my god, like, what red light did I run today? Like,
that's pretty funny.
And they just like went right by me and grabbed him. I was just like, all right, well, need a store manager?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nice. Yeah. Did you get the store manager position?
No, but they gave me commercial.
Okay.
Which was almost better.
Perfect. No, commercial was better. I was a store manager for a long time, and I can tell you that commercial was the way.
You could just hide.
Yep.
Like, you hear retail, you hear the door, and be like, not my job. Like, no, sorry. I hear the phone. I hear a shop calling. Oh, wait, I gotta sell oil.
Yeah. No, that's how it was. That's so funny.
Literally.
Yeah. What else did you do in the automotive industry then? So, like, what was your first like foray into it? And we'll jump into your car history then too. But like, what kind of like got you into the automotive industry?
So I mean, when I was 14, I went over to my cousin's house, and that was the first time that I ever saw a 240SX. And it was fully built, single turbo SR20. I was 14, grew up with my dad who had an old Mercury Cougar, like a 67 Cougar, and all muscle cars. So to me, that was a car my dad would have called a rice rocket, like when we were driving around in his truck. So to me, I was just like, what the heck is this thing? And he was just like, get in. Like, I'm not even trying to explain to you what this is. And we went out for like an hour rip, and that was probably the most scared I've ever been in a drift car to this day still.
Nice.
Not understanding what the heck we were doing, because I was so used to muscle cars, and my dad would rip on them all the time. The thing was like 500 horsepower at least. And that was fast, but a different type of fast.
Right.
Because we would slow down for turns.
Yeah.
Husband was just like, threw it into the left lane and faint entered onto a back road in the middle of like Parkerford, or Parksburg, like all the way down in the middle, like in cornfields. And it was just wild. I didn't understand how it worked.
Yeah,
And then just from that, I was hooked because the car was so fast too.
You know, I never thought about something that, but you kind of like sparked something. So we're so conditioned that when there's a turn, you slow down. So like naturally, ever since we were little, riding with our parents, you know, there's a turn coming up. There's a little bit of a slowdown depending on the turn. So it's so unnatural, especially when you're not in control of a vehicle, to feel that. I bet you that's part of that thrill. You know what I mean? Like when when I got my first ride along. Yeah. You're like, whoa, this doesn't feel natural, you know? And then it goes, you get
grabbing everything. Like, oh no.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
There's no roller coaster bar. Like, half the time it's like, click. Okay, here we go.
Perfect. And sometimes the door opens.
Like, good luck. Like, just hold on to something.
Yeah. Oh man. So that's cool. So he got you hooked basically.
I was immediately like, what the heck is this? And then that was what so that got me into what I could afford at the time was little like Honda CRX was one of my first cars.
Yep.
I had a couple little Civic hatchbacks, little EG hatchbacks. Ended up swapping the engines on those, learning about cars, just messing with them myself, and also getting arrested for driving like an idiot. And
what you do in a Honda?
Pushing limits that I shouldn't have been pushing, but still made it. But that's like pretty much where everything started. And then when I turned 18, I came into some money for my dad's passing, and that was I tried buying my dream car, which was a Mark IV Supra.
Okay.
And it was on an auction site, and it went too crazy. Like I was dead set on spending $75,000 for it, which was like wild. I was 18, like had no business buying that car anyway.
It
was 750 horsepower, like out the gate. I would have probably died if I got it.
Right.
And Craig Lieberman, the guy who made Fast and Furious, is the one who actually outbid me and bought the car.
Shit. No way, dude.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That's ironic.
Like a cool little thing. Like at least he got it.
So is that car in the movie then? Did that turn into a movie?
That became a collector car. It was like a one of one anthracite gray, or not one of one, but like one of 200 something anthracite gray, 6-speed target top, twin turbo, left-hand drive, JDM, American USDM car. That it was like top notch Supra. Like would have been the best thing. It just had like single turbo kit. And turned up the 750 wheel.
Yeah. So he parked that somewhere, and it's oddly enough.
He probably still has it.
Yeah, he's actually on the line. Let me bring him.
Tell him to come pick me up.
Right. I wish we did have connections like that. Well, he's actually willing to give it to you.
But then after that, I found the RX-7 because I was like, well, damn, like I lost my chance on the Supra that I wanted, and so I was just went into a Wawa, and they had an
RX-7.
No, in the Wawa to get the free car trader, like the auto trader.
Oh, yep,
back in the day.
Every time I went in, I got one.
Yep, I just went in, got food, went out, and I was sitting there in my little Civic hatch. And just flipping through, and I saw the FDRX7 in Maple Shade, New Jersey, which is where my two buddies, Kevin and Jeff, lived during that time. So I pretty much just set it up to stay at their house, and then the next morning go look at the FD at the Cherry Hill Mall.
Oh, nice.
And drove it. Immediately was just like, yep, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And he didn't believe me because I just met up with him. I didn't bring any money or anything like that. I was just like, let me drive it. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to like this weird thing. I've liked Supras. Like, I was obsessed with Supras.
Oh, so the RX-7 was a little new to you.
Very new.
Yeah, okay.
That was just like the backup that I just bounced to.
That was your breakup sex girl.
Breakup sex car, yeah. I like that.
literally hit them up, went back the next day, and went back and bought that car for 17.5. So like to me, I was like,
Oh, wow.
that was prime time buying an FD.
Holy
Ran and
fuck.
drove. I drove it home, like from
Mhm.
Cherry Hill Mall.
Is this the same FD you still have?
Yep. Sitting
That's
in the garage, getting the Haltech and the Haltech wiring harness
Oh yeah.
that I got over here.
nice.
About to be resurrected. It's just,
Nice.
everything now is like $1,000 every part. So
Yeah.
it's like I have to like seriously think about what I'm doing
Right.
when I'm doing it because of how much everything costs. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like, it's
strategically
such-
pick.
Yeah, so I'm just starting from the front and going to the back of the car.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
fuck
I've
yeah.
redid pretty much everything except for wiring and the ECU. That's all coming out.
Yeah.
And then from there, just finishing the interior and out the back of the car. But I
Yeah.
mean, it just needs maintenance other than the ECU and the harness.
And when you originally got it, how long did you have it before you started tearing into it?
So I didn't like really. It didn't take long for me to tear into it. I drove it for probably about 3 months as is. I picked it up. It had Koenig Imagines. Wasn't really much to the car, and it had an engine fire. Like the engine harness lit up while I was sitting at a red light,
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
and like literally,
James can relate.
thank God I had a fire extinguisher and popped the hood. And as soon as I popped the hood, I got the hood open. It just like woof and just
Yeah.
engulfed my face. Like I lost
Oh,
eyebrows.
jeez. That's why we always tell. Yep, that's why we tell everybody in the
Dropped
meeting.
the
Yep.
hood. It
Yep.
relatched, so I had to go back and unlatch the hood again. Then I grabbed the fire extinguisher, pulled the pin, and somebody actually jumped out of their car who was behind me and came up and helped hold the hood while I sprayed it on.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then
Oh,
we
yeah.
had like 20 people driving the wrong lane and like beep their horns at me, like, get out of the road! Like,
Sorry,
Bro,
buddy,
my
I'm
car's on fire. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
No,
I was
people
so
suck.
mad, but I was just like, I can't, like, I gotta put my car out. And so
Yeah.
got the car out and just pushed it into, it was Gennardi's grocery store at the time. And I had to leave it there, like, all night because I couldn't find a way to get it home. We're talking 19 years ago. This was
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when
That would have been it'd be stripped and gone nowadays.
yeah. I almost banked on it being gone back then.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
like-
yeah.
I was really worried about it, but I couldn't get a hold of anyone. Like we had Nextels. This is I was
Sure,
not,
you
like,
chirping some people. Boop, boop.
I was not calling Ubers. Like there was
Yeah,
no,
right.
there was
Where
no
you at, dog?
nothing. Yeah, and that, like nobody was answering. It was like it was the worst case scenario for me, and being by myself in the car too. Like I didn't have anyone with me or anything, so it was rough.
Jeez.
And I walked home, and like I called all the tow truck companies in the town, and nobody answered. So it was like I had to
Oh,
walk
man.
home. It was wild, and got back, like went back the next day with the tow truck, got the car, towed it back, and then I pretty much replaced the engine. It was like
Gotcha.
replace the engine and then fix the harness. I never replaced the harness, which now is what's getting done. All I did was just I removed all the wires that caused the fire.
Yeah.
There were 3 wires that were coming out of the relay box that were going to the fuel pump relay, and they all arced together. And
Oh shit.
we're probably like an inch and a half away from everything else. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how it didn't all go up.
Right.
So has the car been sitting since then?
No. So
Okay.
after that, it got the new engine and it was running pretty much right away. The fact that I had money, so like from the settlement, so I just called up Pettit Racing and said, "Hey, I need a motor," and I saw a video with one of your cars going ridiculously fast. Like I just want that, and so they built that, sent it up to me, and dropped it in. It was literally the easiest thing on earth. And the car was driving. Car made stupid power.
Nice.
Made like 550 wheel at 15 pounds of boost. So
Ooh.
for me at 19 years old in a car that was also 2,700 pounds was dumb.
Yeah, you had a boner.
That's reckless.
Dude, every time I got out of the car, I was shaking. Like, it's still the only car that's really like scared me that much. And I've driven a lot of like cool stuff. But that car, just like the power to weight of it, it's just something else. Like you can't explain it until you've been in one that's like true rotary and like a fast one.
Right.
Like, they're
Yeah,
just next level. And so like I used to take it down to Philly all the time, and I would go to the Philly street races, and I actually made a lot of money.
Nice.
Racing Civics and stuff like that, because nobody knew what it was. I was the only.
Right.
There was me and one other guy in an FDRX7 that was also all black, and nobody knew if it was me or him ever. And
I just imagine you like Vin Diesel, like rolling.
I was just about to say,
like,
Torretto.
street races in an FD.
Yep.
Smoking kids.
But I just left the windows up. Like always windows up.
That's funny.
Like you did not put the windows down. It was like kind of a rule, at least back then. That was the place where like dudes would get ripped out of their car and their car would get stolen, and then no one would do anything. They would literally just be like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the street races down in Philly used to get pretty wild. I went when I was younger, and it wasn't the safest time for especially if you're there by yourself. Like it wasn't very safe.
I had no business going down there and doing it, but I've been an adrenaline junkie since that ride with my cousin. Like that, literally, it was just like snapped something in me that was like, this is what I do. And he's the one who also got me into going to Philly too. He would take the 240 down there, and we would literally just mob everything. And I mean, beat everything but two cars, and I'll never forget it. Like Star Spangled Mustang, like that I guarantee there's somebody that's going to know the car. It was a SN95 with a full red, white, and blue flag.
Hell yeah, bro.
Drag guy for sure.
With a lot of nitrous, and he just straight up lied to me. And he's like, "I'll turn the bottles off." Like I knew the car, I knew he had nitrous, and he's like, "I'll turn the bottles off, and we'll just go." And he just hustled me. And
he didn't turn the bottles off.
No, not even a little bit. Like I put it in second, and I thought I missed a gear. Is how fast he just pulled on me, which didn't happen. So I was just like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm still in second." And like limiter, I was like, "What the heck?" And I just literally like threw it in neutral and just turned around half track. I was like, "Wow!" Like I just got.
You learned the hard way.
Yep.
That's a feeling too that a lot of people never really experience when you're like in a fast car and you're ripping it, and there's another fast car that's way faster, and it feels like when you're sitting still and two tractor trailers start to move and you're going backwards. It's like the same feeling, but you're going like 100 miles per hour.
I literally felt like I stopped. How fast he just took off. What the hell?
Oh jeez.
Damn. Impressive.
It's been a long time since I've been in a super fast car.
Yeah, let's go to Philly to go street racing.
You want to go in my car?
Dude, I was...
I think honestly...
Your car would make it in Philly.
Yeah, the Tacoma. Let's do it.
My car goes anywhere. It's a street car, bud.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's what ended up me stripping the car apart, is I got caught by a helicopter going very, very fast. So...
Yeah.
Car, I didn't have a plate on it, but they got my face. So I couldn't do anything, and had to ditch the car, and they had to I couldn't do anything. And I just stripped it because I kept driving it, and I got caught driving it twice, and they just gave me a year license suspension on top of each one. So I was like, okay, I gotta stop driving it. So I just started taking it apart.
No shit.
Wow.
And I just took the turbo off and got the turbo tattooed on my shoulder, and that's where it started. And then I just kind of started, like, took the intercooler setup off, and then pretty much just went crazy trying to clean up the engine bay, and just went too crazy for what I was skilled at, and pretty much, like, just out-skilled myself to put the car back together. But, I mean, it saved me from losing my license for my entire life.
Yeah.
Pretty smart of you.
I was being so dumb. Like, seriously.
Barry Allen, the AKA Torretto. That's
you need to put nitrous bottles on your passenger seat.
It does not need nitrous. It does not need nitrous.
But it could use nitrous.
Or it could be
fake ones.
nitrous to you, and you could do nitrous while
Shit.
Okay, I'll do
You're
that.
speeding while you're speeding, you know what I mean?
speeding while you're speeding.
Sounds pretty funny.
Heyo. We got jokes and puns.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't think I knew that about the street racing stuff as much.
This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we should go back, dude. I would love to go down to street racing.
18,
I
It's just
just-
fucking blast.
17, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't
even know
even-
where it's done anymore.
I don't think they even do it, to be honest.
I guarantee you they do.
Yeah, but it's
Guaranteed.
like planned. Like no, it's not like it used to be where everybody would gather. It's like they're planned on the. Because I have a friend that was doing
It'll never be what it was used to.
No, yeah, they do them. They do the street races planned on like these private Facebook groups and stuff, and then they all meet up and they do their money stuff. But it's like groups. They don't allow anybody else but like the people that are involved. So
You're
it's
racing.
like, yeah.
They block roads now. So, like, they got smart about it.
I was down there when they did that. They used to, I don't know if they do it anymore, but there's this road down there with like a Sonic on it, and you park in the Sonic parking lot, and then they pull out a hose from Sonic, and they do a burnout box in front of it, and then they race through a traffic light. And you just stand there and watch them. When I watched
That's
like
so
3 or
cool.
4 races, and then the cops come, you go to a different spot. There's like
Just keep
at least
going.
there used to be. Yeah, there used to be like a shopping center down there. It used to go behind. I watched an EG bubble probably blow by us at like 160 miles an hour. We were in my friend's Suburban. Yeah, and it destroyed this fucking Evo. Absolutely destroyed it. But it was cool to see. It was
Mine
like,
wasn't that fast.
yeah, it was wild. It was
My
insane.
FD was. The Civic wasn't. Civic was like 350 wheel. So back then, that was
For a Civic.
fast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
nasty for a Civic. Now that's nothing. You gotta have
That's
like
nothing.
500-600
You gotta have
horsepower in a
1,000.
Civic.
You gotta have 1,000 now. If you're doing or all-wheel drive, you gotta have one or
Yep.
the other.
Yeah, they're doing all those like what is it the
They do like the CRV shit.
the CRV. Yeah, one of the fastest cars I was ever in was a Civic. We used to race sport bikes. It was
That
the
must be wild.
it
I would
was
love to
the
race a sport bike in a
It
car.
was the sketchiest car I've ever been into because he just took a hole saw and went row, 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 like everything,
Everywhere.
no cage, nothing. Like you
Power
were
to
gonna
weight, baby.
die. You were literally gonna die if you
Yeah, the
even
fucking speed holes.
you hit a pothole and you're dead. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that was pretty wild. I've only been down to the Philly street races once, I think, once or twice. And I do remember like we hit the spot and then it like watched a couple things go through and then it got hit. You know what I mean? And then we didn't know the next spot, so I was just like, cool, let's just go. You know what I mean? Like, I had my fun, but
yeah, I
was
never went down in like a fast car. We always went in like somebody's like SUV just to like watch.
Yeah,
because we didn't want to
yeah.
get like involved, but we just wanted to see
Right.
it. So
It's so
the
But
most
it's fun.
inconspicuous. Yeah,
That's seriously like one of the craziest things that I've ever done. It's probably like why I take over kids, like what they doing, like, but it's just not the same. Like, not
Right.
even close. Like, we were at least parked on the side of the road. Like, the cars were lined up on both sides. People were standing on both sides, out of the way. Like, everyone knew where the cars were going to be going, so nobody jumped onto the track. So, like,
no, sure.
everyone knew what we were there to do, and nobody like tried to make their own scene or spectacle
Right.
outside of us drag racing on the street already. Like, so
Yeah.
it was just like a different mentality. Everyone was just like, we're here to race. Like,
Organized chaos.
very much so. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
I never knew you were a big Dominic Torretto guy. So now I know.
Hey, Torretto guy.
So now, so you have the FD now, and did you get another RX-7? Didn't you have another RX-7 as well?
I also have an '87 Turbo 2 that's just all original. Just kind
Hell
of
yeah.
fell onto that car. That was my uncle's brother-in-law. He was in his wedding, like whenever ago, and the guy was 77 years old. That was selling the RX-7, and he said they hit up my uncle and said, like, asked him if he wanted to buy it because it just stopped running one day, and he's like, I'm too old to try and even figure out why it stopped running. Like, I'm just over it. I want to sell it, but I want someone who knows rotaries to get it because like it's a pretty good car. Like, and his uncle was like, well, it's not me because I don't know a damn thing about rotaries. He's another one that was always muscle car. He loved old Fords and Mercuries too. But I think he had like an old 454 Chevelle at one time. But he's the one. I just lost that whole train of thought. Where were we?
He was that one. Yeah.
He was that guy that.
He was that guy.
Is he moved the sale over to you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He called my uncle, and my uncle told him not interested. Like, I don't know rotaries, but I know someone who has one and has had one for like 20 years, so he probably has somewhat of an idea.
Right.
And he hit me up and told me about the car. And like at first, I'm waiting for him to tell me it's like $15,000 for this thing. Because it's a 51,000 original mile, 87 Turbo 2, like factory performance model with the factory Bilstein suspension. Like, it was a hell of a car. White exterior, blue interior, super rare combo. In immaculate condition, all original, never messed with. Still had AC, still had Freon inlines, like it worked.
Nice.
And so I'm expecting like top dollar. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not, but just tell me how much. And he's like, yeah, he only wants like $1,100 for it. And I was like,
oh my!
Tell him
what?
I am calling a truck right now. Like, there is no way that this isn't happening. And I was like, well, give me his number. And like, let me talk to him. Like, I don't want to rip the guy off. Like, does he know what he has? And my uncle's just like, I have no idea. Like, here's his number, give him a call. And talk to him. And he knew exactly what it was. He was the second owner of the car. He worked at Mazda dealer when he bought the car. So
that's cool.
In 1989, he bought it from the dealership. The owner of the dealership bought the car when it came out new, and he put like 20,000 miles on it, and then he sold it to the guy I bought it from. And that's cool. So he had it all the way since 1989, and the car interior is 100% immaculate. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a time capsule of a car. And so I called him. We talked forever. And I was like, you realize, like, you could get off the phone with me and make thousands more, right? And he's just like, yeah, but he's like, that's just not my style. He's like, I don't need money. He's like, I'm a doctor. He's like, I have money. He's like, I want someone who will care for the car, or like at least enjoy it. And
You're adding to the Fast and Furious vibe right now. He's like, I don't need money. It's respect and family.
That's how,
whatever the fuck
it's cool.
says.
It's cool when you meet those people, though. There is some of those people out there, and it's very rare.
I thought I was going to get scammed. Like, I thought I was getting ripped off. I didn't think it was real. Like, I thought I was taking a tow truck down there for nothing. Like, I was like so skeptical. And I get down there, and he was just like so nice. His wife was super nice. Like, they forced lunch on me and my buddy that drove down there. Like, it was just cool.
Yeah.
And the car was immaculate. He wouldn't take more money for it. I tried giving him more money for it, and it was $1,200. And then I handed him $1,200, and he gave me $100 back. He's like,
there's some good people.
Title. I was like,
oh
okay.
Man,
like, what the heck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
You'll never find that today. Ever.
Again. Never again.
unless you find like a very like, you know, pretty brain dead kind of guy that doesn't know how life works. You know what I mean?
Right. And I didn't think, I just figured he didn't know what he had. But
Right.
he knew exactly what it was.
Yep. He was just a rad fucking dude. Yeah.
It was just his
Oh,
weekend
that's
car.
cool.
Like his wife loved it too, and then she was just like, "Take it." Like we've had our fun with it. Like it's your car now. And so it was
Yeah.
and like for probably a year and a half, he would hit me up like, "You got any pictures?" And
Oh, that's
I
cute
would send
too.
pictures of it and stuff like that. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Have
Oh,
you
fuck
ever
right.
taken it to like Seven's Day or anything?
I wanted to, but I also didn't want to put that many miles on it. Like
That's fair.
I've had it for 5 years and I've put 6,000 miles on it, and it's
Dang.
just to keep things rolling on it and like
Keep the
it
fluids
moving.
going through it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's got everything. Like it's got the factory LSD diff, factory turbo. Everything works. The only thing that I had to do to the car was when I got it to get it running, it needed a fuel pump. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I worked at Turn 14 Distribution, and it was $44.
Oh yeah.
Damn. So you're all in on
yeah.
that car for like $1,200.
Dude,
Yeah.
literally.
Yep.
Wow.
And like
Yeah,
With
that's
the
sick.
title transfer too.
Yep.
with
That's super
the
funny.
gas to get home in it. Like it was like
Yeah.
wild. Like
Oh,
I just
yeah.
didn't believe it. But I was like, yeah, that happened. It was like the
That's
one
sick.
that's like the car that can't get away. And
Yeah.
I've had quite a few people give me offers for it. And like I've had a couple substantial like $20,000 offers for it, but it's worth more, and like I know it is, and it's just like one of those cars that I'm going to be picky with who gets it too. Like I don't want just any kid getting that car. Like it
Yeah.
just doesn't deserve to get torn up. Like I'd love to drift it. It's perfect for it, but I can't let it happen. Like it is a unicorn.
No, that's cool.
So I can feel you're gonna turn down my $1,500 offer.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's because you're not the right one for it, James. He told me he's going to give it to me for $1,200.
Just put it on the ground, put some stupid chrome wheels on it, put a fucking TV in the trunk, and break every fucking panel on the
TV in the hatch.
Shit.
I did have to bring my own wheels because the tires were so dry rotted.
Oh,
That's
wow.
why it has
Yeah.
RPF ones on it. But
That's
I still
so
have
funny.
the original wheels and tires too.
Yeah. Hey, so I want to talk about one of your other cars, and then the best part is we didn't even fucking start talking about you doing like what you do,
Anything
which is
else?
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about you as one of the other very few fans of one of my favorite chassis, the Del Sol.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were Del Sol buddies, so that's kind of cool. And
Back
you,
in my day.
yep. And now I'm jealous. You still own one, or do you still have it? Oh man!
He told me to buy it. I remember he posted a picture. I was like, "Damn, this is cool." He's like, "You should buy it." I should, but I
Well,
should not.
I posted about
I also hit up Damien like you should buy it.
yes well because I posted something about doing a rear wheel drive because me and James were in the garage the one night and I remember we were talking about this and we're like, well fuck, this would be pretty sick to do as like a team, like, you know, building exercise. Like we just get it and slowly we all make it rear wheel drive. But and then yeah, you popped out of nowhere. I was like, fuck, don't tell me that. I don't need any more projects or cars. But no, that's cool. You don't honestly, it's one of those cars where like a lot of people either hated them or they're like, they're okay, or they fucking loved the chassis. You know what I mean? And I just absolutely loved it.
Mine was one of those that like it kind of broke people into liking them. I feel like because I had the EG front end, like so I had an EG front, the headlights and the bumper, instead of the big like goofy dolphin whatever lights on the Del Sol. It's just, to me, they never fit the body. Like the body is this big, the headlights are this big.
They were very big. Yeah.
It just didn't fit. So the EG front end like made me fall in love with the car, just looking at it. And then it just being so cute and little with the target top. It was like my baby Supra. Especially once I turboed it, it became my baby Supra, like what I always wanted. But it was just got 35 miles a gallon, and I hit rev limiter on it every time that I drove the car for 4 years. Like every time.
Yeah, they were good cars.
I haven't seen you in a couple months, but you're like tall, right?
5'10".
Yeah, that's tall compared to me.
He's compared to you. I think me and Barry are probably fairly close in height.
I was just gonna ask like how that goes sitting in a Del Sol.
Very roomy.
That's perfect.
Dude, Del Sols fit anybody.
Rich couldn't fit in one.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very comfortable because I'm a large guy, width and like height a little bit, and I can fit. So if I can fit, anybody can fit very comfortably.
The seats are really good.
They are.
The really good bucket seat that sits really low, and then also even with the Targa on, the Targa had like cutouts where like for your head, like head bumps that you actually had room, but you could also just take that off and put it into the trunk.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you guys about the time my fucking Targa flew off on my Del Sol?
No, but that sounds
more Fast and Furious activities.
No, this is like 100%. This is something that like this is something that was like in a movie because it didn't seem real. So we were in this area called Wyomissing in Pennsylvania near this mall, and of course where you get on this on-ramp, the people that are at the parking lot, if they're up towards this fence,
I know exactly where you're talking about.
Okay, so I of course was
show off.
I was young and I was like, let's fucking VTEC this shit up. So I'm like, blah, and now
into sports mode.
Yeah, right. So I'm just fucking going through these gears, and I didn't think, and I do this a lot, I don't think. So I put the Targa on because we were going to go home, but I had it off, but the sun was fucking blazing, and I was like sick of frying, you know what I mean? So I put the Targa on, my buddy's with me, we're fucking ripping it, and I heard a vibration, just a little bit of like a vibration, and I'm like, I don't care, I'm already in it, we're going to keep going. So I don't even know how fast we were, but you ever get like a rush of air, like where your ears pop, and it's like a cabin pressure, you know what I mean? So we're driving, and it started, I got that feeling of pressure for like a split second, and then all of a sudden, like an airplane ripping open and like people flying out, the top goes, flop, and it just fucking ripped off, okay? I'm driving still, trying not to crash, because I'm also trying to pay attention to this fucking thing. I'm looking up in the fucking, in the air, and it's just spinning like 1,000 miles per hour and probably like 100 feet in the air.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, so cool. So it was cool, but then the first thing you think of is who's behind me that's going to die.
Get it.
Yes, and am I going to jail for murder? So we quick fucking ripped it over, which that highway was really shitty. Like people fly there, and it
sucks.
Yeah, right. And it flew up, and it must have just went a little bit off to the side of the road, and it landed flat. Like it didn't skid at all. We backed up to it. There was not a scratch on it. Landed on the underside of the fucking Targa. There was not a scratch on it. There was a little piece of like dirt ground into the, like the levers berry.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like fucking, like it must have hit it so hard that it like embedded, you know what I mean, in that. That was the only fucking, and I just remember is this dude Jason Berger, I'm pretty sure with me. He was like, "There's no fucking way this just happened and this isn't destroyed." Yeah, it was fucking cool, but it was like a movie.
Down.
No, I don't think they're fiberglass. No, they're definitely not fiberglass. Yeah, they're like a metal skin with plastic and shit. But yeah, that was fucking wild. It was like in the movie, like Danger to Manifold or something, and shit, shit flies out. Yeah. That's what it felt like. Or like we have to shoot the car behind us, and we just like emergency release this fucking hood, and then pop up with machine guns. Yeah, it was cool. Except it was more I was young and shitting my pants. But yeah, Del Sols are cool. I'm gonna get another one.
I've been wanting to turn it into a camera car, but
I think it would be good for that, right?
It would be perfect.
Yeah. Actually, that was that was a question from somebody, was dedicated camera car, ?
Yeah, that's the one. If I would do it, that's the one that would get it. Other than the FD, I've been toying with the idea of making that a camera car just to keep it away from drifting for a little bit.
Oh, that's a good strategy.
Away from, but right next to.
Yeah, that might not be a good idea. No, don't do that. Because I can tell you, I know a lot of the drivers.
Chaos, though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I can say yes or no.
No, sure.
If I'll chase them or not. Like,
Right.
chasing Rich was like the craziest thing ever because there's not like I couldn't even portray the moment via video good enough, but like he had no idea. He was literally sitting on grid, waiting for someone to drive with. Like he was just like bored and sitting there off to the side. Everybody else was driving, and he was just like waiting for Facenda or someone. I don't know.
Right.
And I just like got the green light because I was like waiting. I'm like, someone let me take the STI out. Like I want a couple chase laps, and I found Jake and Jake Parrish, and he was just like, while we're doing practice only, like you can't do it during qualifying or anything else. And I was just like, well, we got like half an hour left, so I literally just bolted, went back,
Fuck yeah.
threw everything onto the STI. Like I had a swivel mount on the top, I had a GoPro on the bumper, I had a GoPro in the car, I had a GoPro on my helmet. Like I had like GoPros everywhere, and just drove down because I was looking for Rich and I couldn't find him, and because I wanted him and Steve. That was like my had to of who I'm chasing, like my two homies. And like Steve was like still getting the car ready, trying to get it like figured out. He was gonna meet me out there, so I was like, okay, well, I gotta go. So I just like jumped in the STI, flew down to the track, and when I got down, I went past the water pit, and that's where Rich was sitting by the wall. And I just pull up next to him, literally just door to door, and I look at him, and he looks at me, doesn't even like second guess anything. He just looked at me, I just put up like 2. Yeah. He just looks at me like, yeah. I'm like, no, like I'm fucking serious. Like, 2. Like, you go, and I'm gonna. He's like, what? Like, yeah, so go. Like, let's go. And he's like, oh shit. And like puts his helmet on, and he's like, yeah, let's do it. And just throws down 100-point lead lap in front of me. Like, what the heck?
Yeah,
but, that was like one of the coolest like memories, at least like gambler media memories of STI.
Can you tell me how this went? Like I've seen you run around the pits before people are going on laps. You're trading out like 17 GoPros, right? But what's it look like when you're the one with the 17 GoPros on you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you like get out there, you're like on. And you get back and you're like on.
Oh yeah, well, I was actually sitting in the car with my GoPro app on my phone, and I would literally just like go.
Yeah.
And, like turn everyone on, and then the helmet cam I would turn on by hand, and so I would just like make sure everyone was good. And then there was only one time where like it stopped working, and I had to come back around, pull over, and get out and like checked all the cameras. Still had my helmet on and everything else. Yeah. Everyone's looking at me like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And, but like one of the media guys actually like ran over like, I have a helmet, can I get in? Like,
you start giving ride-alongs.
Yeah, dude.
I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna say no. Like, get in. And so I gave a media guy a ride-along while we got to chase a bunch. Like we chased like Adam Daniels and Fable, and we chased. I think he was in the car for one of the laps with Rich.
That's cool.
But yeah, it was just like a cool little moment. Doing media.
How was that chasing? Did it feel like he was driving kind of slow motion in a way? Like
it felt like a setup, dude. Like
that's
it was so weirdly relative. Like,
really?
And like I had no idea how to do it, what to do. Never driven a chase car before. Like just throw the cameras on and have a general idea of where the GoPro like will be aimed depending
the spectrum.
Where I'm at.
Yeah.
Just from the how many swivel mount chase videos, GoPro videos that I've already done, trimmed, watched, edited. So I had a good idea of where I wanted to be, and just no idea. So I just like wung it and went for it, and my goal was to just stay like as center of like Rich's pivot, or like the lead car, wherever their pivot is on that car. I wanted to be as centered as I possibly could and as dialed and smooth as I could.
Right.
So it was bizarre how like it felt like VR, like how I was just like tracking him, watching where he would go and like read how he'd come through like the center section and the manji section and where he'd end up, like depending how he bounced. And I could also hear when he would pull his handbrake because it's little like squeak.
Oh, yep. 300
so, like,
ZX.
All that stuff because the STI is like practically stock. So
right.
I didn't even hear that car. And so I was just second and third gear chilling.
That's cool.
I'd drive that car to the track harder than I did as a camera car.
Right. No, that's super cool.
It was oddly easy. Like I didn't expect it to be that easy, but I think it's also because of my hours on Assetto.
Sure. Also
driving with Rich. Like I was 110% confident. I didn't have one concern of Rich doing anything dumb the entire lap. Like it was just like weird how everything transferred in real life. Like the same feeling I have in Assetto. Like I'm just as comfortable in real life.
You're worse off if he's behind you.
Right. I know
that's the problem.
He can't help himself.
No, he'll put door marks on the camera car. which would be fucking ridiculous.
See how close I could get.
I think Chad. I wasn't even that close. He's on top of Chad. Like
yeah, you were fucking on me. You were as close as you could be, Rich. Fuck you.
Yeah,
every time. I wasn't even close. And like you hit him. Like,
we could have been closer. That's funny. Yeah, that's super cool. I was curious because it had to be a wild ride. You know what I mean? Like that has to be fun to follow, like driving normal, like grip race.
Yeah, it was like such an adrenaline, like a different adrenaline rush than like what I'm used to as a ride along and stuff like that.
Right.
Because also like I didn't have to have my visor down because I'm driving straight.
Yeah.
So I had a windshield. Like I didn't have to like just stuff like that I didn't think about at first. Like at first I put the visor down and it was just like hot. I'm like, I don't have enough airflow coming into the car to like be able to have the visor down. And then I was like, wait, I have a windshield. Like,
oh wait, I have air conditioning.
Nice.
I could have done that too, but I didn't want to like put water on the track and give anyone an excuse.
That's funny. Yeah, I saw that Chase Bays was doing that with like they had like a final bout. They had the Civic. That was
different
sick.
Style than I do. I will give him that.
The chasing,
Yeah, he's like me on a Assetto, like, but in real life in a Civic.
Right. Like, I think that driver. Who was the driver? He's like a race car driver.
Brian,
guy.
I think his name's Brian. His Chase Bays, like, their dude.
Gotcha.
Brian Bays
media and stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha. Because I'm pretty sure he had experience in racing. Yeah,
so he's a grip driver for sure. And like it showed. He
dives in and stuff
he's an
like
animal.
that.
Yeah, like
that's awesome.
Like, to me, it looked like he like forgot that he was driving a camera car, and he'd be like, "Go to pass!" Oh, crap! Like I gotta get this video for Chase Bays. Like I gotta pass him. Oh,
right.
Got it. Like it was just cool to see. Like it's just a different perspective. Like I try and get mine. Like I wanted the whole car in the frame as smooth as I could be, but showing what the lead car was doing. Like, so his style of run and gun, getting the camera literally under the car if he could, and then back out and like around him to the next car. Like, dude, it was just cool. Like, it was just like a weird, wild style. That
it's almost like a drone.
He's like in there aggressive as shit. Like he chased me the one time doing Super D in Wisconsin. And so, like, I throw it in, and then, like, my car, like, shuts down because it's trying to catch on fire, and my steering locks up and shit. I'm like, I'm dead. He's going to fucking hit me. It's like, it's over.
And he just T-bones you in a Civic.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
That'd be a pretty cool crash, though. I hope that becomes more of a thing, because, personally, I'm not a big drone guy. Like, I like a drone pilot that can actually follow like a chase cam. I want to see, like, third-person stuff. Like, the way...
see the driving.
Yes, the way you did it was perfect.
Looping.
Yeah.
As soon like I love drones. Like that's probably when I can't when I can't run around grid like a maniac like I do now, I'll probably end up droning. But like, the kids that just go out there and make their own show of drifting is like, just dial it back. Like, we want to see what the cars are doing.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
You don't need to be doing stupid drone tricks.
Like, there's drone shows for you.
Right.
Tandem each other at that. Like, I don't know. But there are some. Like, there's a couple of guys that go to Club Loose that like actually do follow the cars well, keep the car in frame and stuff like that. And I always like take the time to at least comment, like let them know. I'll send them a message like, yo, this rips, like
killing it,
keep this up. Yeah, like
I actually got one. I got one from there.
This I'd appreciate this. Like I like watching this. Keep going. Like you don't have to be all flipsy daisy spinny to get attention to your videos. Like
that is that you're right with that. It's Club Loose has a lot. I remember that because you see a lot of good follows at the Club Loose track. Like they just stay behind and they watch. Because I remember me and Chad went for Freedom Moves and I ended up getting media from that, which sucked because everybody's like, I'm like trying to put my arrow on and they're like, dude, you're not going to make it out there with anything on because it was raining and sloppy. And everybody's like, just fucking leave it off. And then of course I get this rad video of me driving with no arrow on. And I'm like, well, I was like, well, this fucking sucks. This is the one time I never run full arrow. And I get like a really cool drone shot. But yeah, it was really good. Like it was like a video game. So I think that's what's really cool about the chase cam thing that you did, because it literally felt like a bumper cam that was like pre-set up in a video game. Like that was a cool ride.
When I get bored or like my shoulders are getting tired from drifting on a Seto, I'll just like grip car. Like I'll drop tire pressure and I'll start just driving like pretending to be a grip car and practicing like my line behind other drift cars, especially if there's like two or more, so I can at least like muscle memory and get used to making those quick reactions and just at least knowing, like having a better idea of where to put the car or like how to like avoid certain things. Like,
well, now you just gave me an idea.
Oh, what's that?
Each server, we should always put one grip car on.
So we can have a camera car.
Yeah, like a cool little front wheel drive or all wheel drive hot hatch.
An FTI.
See, perfect. Yep, that's it. That's what we're doing.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool, right? No, that's fucking, yeah. Hey, speaking of Assetto, before we get into your media stuff, let's keep away from your media stuff because this is fun. Okay. Let's talk about Assetto. So it's funny for anybody that's listening, Barry's just literally in his rig, sitting here doing this podcast. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, well, you would have saw it from the beginning. So what do you want from me? But anyway, let's talk Assetto. So you're really big in Assetto. I think me and you connected with Assetto pretty early on too. Once we met, because I know that me and you got kind of close with our mutual friend Jeremy, who is a fucking little angel, and I love his little face.
Smartest person I've ever known.
Too smart. I actually don't even want to talk about it because it makes me angry, because if I could have 1/8 of that dude's brain, I would be successful. But anyway, but I know that was one of the things that we connected over too, which is really cool. And even to this day, like right now, we're doing, you're helping out with the Pile Up Podcast, Assetto challenge competition, and hopefully me and you are going to probably be doing a whole bunch of shit, I'm sure, in the future. But besides that, awesome. You got really, really big with your Assetto stuff, and let's talk about that a little bit, because your Discord has become a staple, I believe, for finding the good tracks, finding the car packs. If anybody ever says to me, where's that track, I don't say like go to on like race department or some shit.
Go to the digital adrenaline Discord.
100%.
It's there.
It is there, and if it's not, use the search button, and you'll probably find it. Yep. So I wanted to give you one kudos for your time and attention to that, because for a lot of people, especially when they start getting like into it, it's really rough. They don't know where to find this shit, and it's kind of annoying for some of us as OGs when it's like, okay, you should have fucking this Mabaro. Like, why don't you have Mabaro? You know what I mean? But it's go to Barry's Discord.
But that's how it happened. Like, just because I started and I got roped into driving with you guys Day 2. I had no idea what I was doing with any sort of simulator, wheel, nothing. I had no clue, coming from controller gaming my entire life. And then just doing media, understanding how drifting worked, and I just pretty much learned by doing laps myself and watching helmet cam videos of Jim Bissey and Nate Hamilton. I would just watch them over and over and just pay attention to what they did with their feet and what they were doing with the wheel and how the car reacted to what they were doing. And that's how I figured out how to drift in Assetto.
Right.
And just during like all that time when I was getting in the servers with you guys, or like with Ian and Keith and Tovi and all these guys, I would just, everyone was always talking about like, why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? Like, oh, Barry needs this. Like, where the heck did we put that? And I was in like this weird, like, I was just getting into it. So I didn't really, like, I had some free time of like, I still had to find the tracks and the cars and everything myself too. So like, I started out where everyone that's aggravated started out too. But I just, instead of like only trying to keep searching, I was just like, why don't I just make something that I can keep it organized and just have car packs and tracks, and then be able to just send everybody there. And then whatever we're playing on, be like, just check my Discord. I've put the Tando buddies in the car pack and just let them download whatever. And
that's a sore subject.
It just became a thing. Like literally became a much bigger thing than I ever expected.
Yeah, it's huge. What's your Discord numbers? How many do you even have in there?
Yeah, I was like looking at that too.
2,400, 2,500.
I was going to ask because I'm looking at it right now. There's almost 500 online right now.
That's insane, Barry.
588 online, 2,395 members.
Okay.
And that's just like pretty much just me. Every single time that I update my server or there's a cool car pack or a cool track that comes out, I always just try and make it a point to put it in there, because there's a lot of times where the other websites that I would go to trying to get them, or like their Google Drives, would just time out, or they would close them, or they would just disappear. And then I would be stuck trying to find Nico circuit for an hour while everybody else was playing. But I didn't want to bother anyone. Like, I didn't want to like tell someone, hey, like, can you get out and send me the track? Like, I'd sit there and try and figure it out. And like, because I sat there and tried to figure it out, it pissed me off so much that I made my own Discord. And that's what I was just like,
funny.
Well, this is the best way. And this is also how we can communicate in Assetto because of the voice chat feature. Because I was new to Assetto, I didn't understand any of that. Like, I was still learning how to even send chat in the game.
Yeah.
And then it was like, so you download Discord and you can voice chat and this and that. So I had to learn everything. I never saw it a day in my life. And then just made my own server and just made my own channels and just started putting stuff in there. And that's that.
No, that's cool. Yeah, so that's the other thing that I've heard a lot of good things where they're like, oh, I love Barry's setup because I know when he changes the server, he refreshes what track it is and what car pack it is, because then there's just no question. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to drive with my friends on the Digital Adrenaline server, it's so fucking easy. And that's really cool, because I don't think a lot of people, you know, I mean, there's a bajillion servers out there, but like, if you don't have the shit, you're kind of up the creek, and you go through and cycle some really, really cool stuff that's not the same dumb drift playground, you know what I mean? Like,
that's
you're doing
kind of my niche too.
Yes, which is good, because you understand like the Japanese tracks that are so cool and different that, you know, some people's like, oh, it's not just a bunch of S turns, but that's, you know, go play somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like this, you kind of cater to like real drivers, which is really, really, really cool.
I may take it too seriously sometimes, like like. I pretty much use it as a learning tool 99% of the time. And so like mostly of what I'm doing is to better myself, when I drift in real life to just understand when the car does this, I need to do this. When I do this, the car does this. And just get that balance of figuring out what I need to do to be a better driver in real life. And this is just I can do a bajillion laps without changing tires, without putting fuel in it.
Yep.
And I have a reset button every time that I crash or mess up. Like, it's just.
Which isn't a lot, by the way, Barry. You piss me off. You specifically make me angry. Now, Grant, I've been away from it, but when we drive together, you're turning into a robot, and it's good. Like, it's definitely good. You're just like our new friend Callie from Sweden. You guys are literally robots, and it's wild to see. But it's a testament to your driving. You're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort to just like keep doing the laps. So it's really, really, really cool.
And I've kind of like pretty much got my own kind of style down now, where I took a lot from. So I wanted my hands. So it all like. I never planned on taking videos of me playing a simulator and posting them online ever. Like that was not the idea. That was I started taking those so I could see what the heck my hands were doing while I was in VR, because I couldn't see. I'm learning watching helmet cam videos of what their hands are doing. I thought I was doing the right stuff until I started recording myself. And that's when, like, the first thing that I nixed that I don't do anymore is crossing my hands.
Oh, the good old, you're right.
So, like, if anyone watches my driving, I will not. It's just one of the things that I have taught myself to learn, like, how to not do it. I have every technique of shuffling the wheel and everything like that, but that's all, like, from Assetto. And watching those videos and watching Toshi S15 Alpha in Japan is like my big Japanese driver influence.
Okay.
And then Nate Hamilton for his handwork and just like knowing where to put the car every single turn. And I've just kind of like put Toshi's aggression along with Nate's dialed in. And kind of tried to put them together. So I'm very much so steering with my feet. Like I'm very active on my pedals. So that's why my hands are just kind of not really doing that much. I'm just kind of throwing the wheel and catching it.
Yep.
But that's just hours and hours and different tracks and trying to like and pushing myself at like tracks to make big entries in lower horsepower cars that normal it's purposely difficult. And my thing is like tracks that it takes me an hour to be happy with a lap. Those are like the tracks I like. And like there's other people that'll join for 5 minutes like this sucks.
They're out. That's, and you can tell who's in it for the right reasons. Like when it's like, especially like somebody that's like wants to practice. Like I know me and Juan were playing and we were like, we wanted to like focus on certain techniques and just, actually use it as a training tool. And at the same time, you're still having a fucking blast. You know what I mean?
It's still like way too much fun.
Exactly. Like it's still, it's a fucking game when it comes down to it, but you're learning good habits from it, muscle memory. And it's just, you're sitting there hanging out, bullshitting, laughing with each other and actually learning. It's like, imagine if that's how school was, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Like if I could learn this way,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Speaking of hours, Barry, I know you have a fuck ton of hours turned in this game. How many hours do you actually have? I'm just curious.
Open Steam. What's the number?
Let's see.
Mine were reset because I had to redo the computer.
Damn.
And I'm pretty sure it resets it on the. Actually, I don't know. Is it based off of Steam?
I think so.
I never go on Steam. I only open Content Manager. So like.
Yeah, but it should log it when the game's open, right?
I'm curious.
Content Manager?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it might. It might.
Library.
What's this game called?
How many do you think?
It's called Hot Wheels.
So I'm gonna say, like, you probably turn a year, maybe. Let's see, how many hours are in a day? 24 hours in a day. I would say you probably put in like 150 hours a year, maybe. I don't know. I'd say like 600 hours.
What, 150 hours a year?
Yeah. Like 600 hours total.
Do you remember who you're talking to?
He's laughing, so
yeah,
this is a good sign.
It's for sure in the thousands. It's got to be in the thousands.
Guarantee this man's like 3 hours a day.
1,000.
All right.
900.
No way.
That's insane.
Wow, Barry.
I only have 406 hours.
Nice.
Fuck.
Mine says 85.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
No, I must have left it on for a couple nights. It's definitely not that many.
Yeah,
I definitely have had it for like over 10 years.
Which is
for
wild,
sure.
because I've only had it for 4.
Yeah, whenever I built my PC, which is over 10 years ago, I got a Seto. So, you know, clearly one of us plays more than the other.
That's funny. I knew I had a decent amount of hours, but it doesn't log for me building the tracks. That's where I spent all my time. People used to yell at me. They'd be like, yo, let's sim. And they're like, oh, you're building fucking tracks because they could see me in a program. That's so funny. What is James doing? He's doing like gang signs? Are those gang signs?
Throwing gang signs at my wife.
Oh, gang. That's good. Yeah, gang. So I'm just curious. Aceto, the progression. So you've only been doing it, you're saying like 4 years, but have you seen changes already in the game, like for the better or for the worse? Or is there some like weird stuff? Because I know me and you were talking about some stuff today about. Yeah. I know, and one topic is the car packs, and we have a history with that too, which is really cool.
It needs to stop.
Yeah.
You freaking car modders out there need to relax.
Yeah, they need to fucking just settle the fuck down.
Like, we're trying to drive the cars. Like, if we're pulling into a lobby to do a GTA car show, have at it. Make a 45 gigabyte car pack. We're trying to drive like maniacs with 32 people in a server. Like, I can't explain how fun it is until that lag hits and nobody can have fun.
It's the reason I'm rebuilding my PC. Because I can't play with other people anymore. It just can't handle it.
Yep. I got a brand new iBuy Power PC right behind my GoPro right now because 95% of it's Seto.
Yep.
Like, it's better for editing videos, but that's not why I bought it.
Sure.
As I've been playing Seto on the lowest video settings since I started, and like, if there were more than 15 people in the server, I couldn't even play.
Right.
So, like, I just made it look good for a while and like got the settings to look proper without being too bad.
Also, replays are nice because you can turn up the graphics and stuff.
Yeah, and I understand media, like making videos already, so it was just kind of like cheating. Like I don't even have to go to the track. Like this is the best. Like I don't even have to do 20,000 steps today.
That's one thing that, and me and you definitely were fucking venting about that today a little bit, but I wanted to bring that up because there's more to that as well. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like, I think they're not understanding. They're not understanding that. And honestly, it's the different mindsets, because I guarantee you, like, real drivers that are focused on actual driving, they're going to be like, okay, we don't need all these animations. I don't need a motor in it. I don't need a fucking serpentine belt that's spinning in a under the hood, which you're never going to fucking see. You know, like, we don't. Yeah, you do. But
I don't play Seto.
But see, there's ways to do that and optimize those cars too, but they're not doing that. They want to be the next, and I'm going to fucking say this, and this is going to be on record because it's fucking hilarious, because everybody's going to be like, there's no fucking way, but they want to be the next Tando buddies. That's literally what they're trying to. They don't give a shit about anything but the popularity that gain. That's all they fucking care about, and they're screwing over the people that really care about it. Now, granted, there's enough car packs we can kind of pick and choose, but the cars that are starting to feel good, they're still fucking huge, so it hurts us, you know?
Yeah, so like they're getting better physics-wise. Like they feel great. Everyone's getting smarter, more educated, more knowledgeable on how to upgrade these cars for a video game. Like, we're learning how to take physics from a real car and actually apply them to a car on a Assetto.
Or change it completely wrong to make it feel better. Yeah, because there's both ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Which is wild, but I love it. I like that people are doing that.
I just wish so. Like, if my thing is, if you're gonna go crazy and make a car pack and add all this stuff and make it huge, like at least please make a second option. Like, make a low poly pack from that pack. Like, even if it's half the cars, don't put liveries on them. Just give me paint. Yeah. I don't need YouTube playing SpongeBob in the dash. Like, just give me a car that feels good, that I can get in without having to explain to 500 people how to tune it to even drive it.
Yes.
And that we can just all get in and we can just have a good time and rip and just sit back and watch the replays, and everyone loves to see them. Like, some of the most viral stuff that even exists on the internet is Assetto videos. Like, it's not like half the time my Assetto stuff does better than my real life stuff that I spent thousands of dollars to get. Like, so it's like, you never know. But now it's like, it's getting so good that the cars, like, you can actually pick the lead front tire up off the ground on an initiation if you initiate right, and like, it's just showing that the cars are moving properly with suspension travel and stuff like that, and it just makes it feel that much more relative when you do get into a real car. So you're just better prepared. Like, it's not meant to be an exact replica. Like, there's so many people that are like, ugh, like, it's not even the same thing. Like, why are you even doing it? It's like, it's not meant to be. Like, I grew up playing baseball, so I kind of relate it with, I had a personal trainer because my dad was gung-ho. I was going to be a pro baseball player one day. So every week I had to go batting cages and pitching practice. Batting practice, pitching practice, every week. And that mentality is just how I look at Assetto, like the simulator. And so everything I did there, batting off of a batting machine, which throws the pitches the same way every single time. So you can just get used to the rhythm of everything and get your timing down. Same thing with the Assetto. Like, that's how I've gotten, like, just timing transitions, knowing when to throttle, when to be clutched in, when to float, when to not, when to push, like how, like, where on the car that you can touch that's not gonna make
not
them,
a no-no,
throw them out of the way. Like, there's just so many things that I don't know if it's gonna be useful in the future, but at least I'll be better prepared for it. If it happens, I'll at least have some sort of muscle memory relativity that I can go back to. Like, in real life, if I accidentally throw a backy, I'll know, like, how to get myself out of it without just parking if there's someone coming straight at me, you know? Like,
no, definitely, amazing tools. I mean, Chad, I always say this, but Chad's definitely, like, one of the poster child of what Assetto can do, because because he went right into, I mean, I'm not trying to toot our own horn, but we drive pretty aggressive, and he's able to just be in the mix and not freak out and not die. So, and that was really fast. And then we got James, who just won't play Assetto with us, and he tells us we're pieces of shit. And
I'm just trying to eat my pretzels and live my life.
No, he's a big streamer now, so James is going to start doing some stuff.
Assetto definitely taught me everything, you know. Like, I've said it many times, but, like, it, especially just, like, to get in the motions of stuff, not even to, like, do it right or wrong, but just to get used to doing the same thing over and over again, and just you know, keep working and working and working, and then it slowly gets better. And even just being comfortable with a car that's directly next to you, because I play in VR. If I didn't play in VR, it probably wouldn't be the same, but just be able to look at my window and be like, oh, there's Damien. and oh, there he is in real life. So I'm like, I'm just used to it, you know. So it's definitely one of those things that if people say that it doesn't help, they're full of shit. Like, it for sure does. You just got to put in the time to like make it worth it.
Yep. And that's the problem with these modded cars. They're making it so that we go into a lobby and now we can't have those experiences with a bunch of people because they're like you having to fucking redo your PC to me is bullshit. Like, we shouldn't have to do that. Or Barry, that was a really good like thing though that you said about they should, because it's probably, I mean, it's still more time, but realistically, they're doing this in a fucking game that's meant to drift. You're meant to drive these cars. So not everybody has a 4080 Ti GTX LMNOP, you know, fucking thing. So why make it hard for everybody else? You know, like, have that secondary low poly pack. Like, even the N-style cars, they're pretty heavy because we were going through them today.
They're very heavy.
They're very taxing. You know, it's a taxing system, and they have like 1 or 2 low poly. But it'd be sick to have
low poly car.
Yeah, it should be all the low poly. You know, replicas of all of them. Gravy. Everybody should do that. I think it'd be nice.
It just makes sense to me.
Yep.
Like, to me, you already do all that work. Like, sure, like if you want to have pride in making your own thing, making it super cool, having all these features, like I love the DWG pack, like the FDRX7 and like the stupid my buttons, I can put the window down, like that's cool, but I don't need it. Like, like if I could just have a car that didn't have windows, I wouldn't care. Like, just if it's something that's taxing on the server, like I just don't think a lot of them have ran a server with 25 people all in a pretty like decent line. Like, so like I feel like my server attracts a lot of the better drivers in the world just from my pickiness of choosing tracks and like sticking to those tracks and pretty much forcing people to, you either drive hard and we go fast and we're going to wreck a lot, but when we don't, it's going to be really rad. So like, it's just like, that's my aim. And like, that's, I just stick with it. So I'm always like, and I always want to go to like tracks I've never been to, like real tracks in Japan and stuff like that. And I'm media nerd, so every once in a while I'll like hop out when I'm taking breaks, and you can free cam in Assetto, and I'll just like post up at different corners of a track that I've never been to, so then when I go in real life, I already have somewhat of an idea of how I want to shoot it, you know? That's
a cool strategy, actually. I never even thought about that media could be using it.
Like everywhere. Anytime that I like US Air, I did a lot of that before I went out there for Final Bout. On Assetto, I would just go into random lobbies, and I would just keep the car in the pit and
just free
cam right all over the track, and I would just get an idea of where I wanted to be panning wise, so I could get the cars and the shots that I wanted before I even went 15 hours out there.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, that's fucking sick. Hell yeah. And like your lobbies, going back to that, you definitely attract some good stuff, because I see the things that you post, and it's always like your Mid-Pond Monday was wild.
That got insane for no reason.
Yeah, that was wild. That was like super wild.
And that was just like, I didn't do anything but put a story on my Instagram. That was just, I didn't tell a single person. I just did it. Put it on my server. Put it on my story, and then there were 20 rippers, and like, it was just wild. I have a 15-minute clip on my Twitch that's just 15 car trains around Mid-Pond, which looks ridiculous. Like, in real life, Ken would have freaked out. Like, it wouldn't have happened, because it's a 6-hour maximum down there when you go to Mid-Pond in real life.
Wow.
So it's cool, like, being able to do that on a set just because you can't in real life. Like, it's not even a thing.
Right.
So just seeing 10, 15 cars going around the track at once and killing it is like, okay, like, this is wild. Like, imagine if we could have a Mid-Pond Matsuri, and like, that's things that like I think about, and like maybe I could talk to Ken about that one day. And like that's just like my thought process to it. Like it's not just a setup. Like that's why I try and like stick to the real tracks and stuff like that, because it does also like I end up building relationships with track owners from a video game. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's any of that shit can take you anywhere. You know what I mean? Like you're posting that, the track owner even sees the video game version of it, and then all of a sudden like things
like, hey,
move.
How do I get my track in the game too? Or like how do I get you to push my track or whatever?
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. It's wild that a video game can do that. It has so many outlets and different creative paths. I mean, when I started building tracks, it was insane. The people that started to reach out, and I was like, this is so fucking cool. Like we had like early like onset, like, hey, we might be building a complex if we can get the funds. Can you design it? Like that was very awesome that they let me in on that information that like nobody knew about. It was like a secret project. You know what I mean? Like I've done that like several times. Or like we're thinking about paving a new section out this track. Could you do it so we could try it? You know what I mean? Like see if it works. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, I have like car modders that'll hit me up. They'll send me like slide me a link, like we're not releasing this yet, but tell me what you think, and I'll do a couple laps in them and give them a little quick review, and 9 times out of 10 I'm very honest, so tell them exactly what I would do to them, and that's just I don't see a reason to hold back. It's just like a tool that everyone can use to get better. Like what let's just make it as good as we possibly can. Like,
oh yeah,
I know people want to hear like the car pack's perfect all the time, but they're not.
Reality
like, we're getting closer. Like we're getting very close to having fantastic cars, but it's like we go one direction with getting the car more accurate driving wise, but then there's a whole ton of stuff that gets added. Like, I got really good at modeling these fancy wheels and like adding this crazy livery. Like, yeah, it looks dead on. It looks fantastic. I love it. But just give me the option to not. Like, and to be able to run that on my server and like be able to push your car modding like company. Like, I'd love to work with people's Patreons and stuff like that, and just help get their name out there. Like, there's a lot of people that start a Patreon and can't reach anyone. Like, I could just do a couple laps in it and post a video, and 1,000 people see it overnight. So it's just like,
help out the community.
And the better we can get it, the better drivers are going to be in real life too.
Right. Yeah, I'm almost to the point where the cars could literally look like fucking FR Legends cars if they felt real.
If they just drove great.
Yep. I would give no shits. Honestly, the whole thing could look like FR Legends. I would have a blast in my setup. You know what I mean? But that's a real driver.
It's tough with the variety of wheel setups too.
Oh, 100%.
Like, wheel and pedal combinations are like the biggest differentiating factor with like when someone likes a car pack and someone hates a car pack. 9 times out of 10, they do not have the same wheel.
Yep.
Because anyone who has a Thrustmaster, that's another thing. I spent way too much time dialing my settings in on my wheel to make it feel right. But I also so I would nerd out. I would go to drift tracks and I would make the drivers like turn a car on and rotate the wheel both ways. Like, how far does it go? I mean, I'm curious. They all never know. Like, nobody ever knows what their wheel rotation is on their real drift car. Like, it's hilarious. But that is like kind of where it started with wheel settings for me, because that's when I realized not one had 900 degrees. They were all over 1,000. So it's like,
usually what, like 1050, 1080 is like something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Every B-knuckle car has been 1080. Rich's, the Wise Fab on the JZX was 1040. Okay. Most of the FDF cars that went to Freedom were like 1040 to 1080. That's pretty much like the number. And once I changed mine. So I changed mine to 1080. It was almost like too much rotation for me, at least, like trying to feel it out how much that I had to do. And just that like 40-degree difference from 1040 to 1080 is actually a like substantial amount of movement in the wheel for what it takes to react in the car. So seeing Rich's Wise Fab, and that was at 1040, and just Rich's driving. He's another one that I just naturally kind of feel like I turned into kind of like Rich, but he's too smooth. Like I've almost never seen anyone that's like makes it look effortless. Like it's just even
disgusting.
The in-car videos of Utah like made me mad just because he would be like, "Oh, it was such a bad lap," and in the car he like would grab like pull the handbrake once, like 95 mile an hour entry, just like little tug, and then just perfect dialed in every zone, hit the clip perfect. It's like, dude, what? Like, I don't understand what you don't like here. Like, this is goals for like all of us. Like, and it's just like one of those things that
he's too critical on himself.
That's what I applied to Assetto. So I just like started. I put the settings at 1040 on my wheel, and it was like 3 months of just constant. I would change one thing, and then I would drive, go back out, change one thing, drive, go back out, change one thing. 3 months of that until I got the settings how they are now.
Yeah. And that's wild too, because you still have one other determining factor that's even like crazier, and that's the human brain and the perception.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like we have all this crazy different gear that you can have, and then you have all these different feeling car packs, like a bajillion different car packs. Then you have all the settings that are in these fucking, like, Content Manager, you could update and it could change all your settings and you don't even know it, and then you're like, oh, everything sucks. But really, your fucking shit's just out of whack. Then you have the human brain and the perception of what feels wild and real to you, and it's like there's way too many variables, which is insane. And then to down talk like a car pack or whatever because it feels like shit. Like, I just think it's hilarious, but that's wild. But there was a question from somebody, and I'm not going to go on my phone right now because I'm lazy, but somebody did want to know what your setup is. Like, what do you, not like your settings for the stuff, but what are you running gear wise? Like, so we talked about a Thrustmaster. It's the TX 300.
The wheelbase itself is the Thrustmaster T300.
Yep.
And then I have an adapter coming off of that so that I could use the buttons from the Ferrari wheel that is an add-on for Thrustmaster.
That's so the one that you sent me. Yep, I got the same one. You hooked that up. I appreciate that.
I actually bought the wheel. Like, I bought the T300, and then I wanted the buttons. Like, that was, I saw someone on YouTube, I forget, I don't even remember who it was, but I saw that they had buttons and was just like, that just makes sense.
Right.
To be able to have options there. And so I actually bought the Ferrari wheel separate from the T300 on Marketplace. I got like most of everything from Marketplace. And just started.
Shout out together. Marketplace, by the way. Like, what is up? I love Facebook Marketplace.
And it's just CoraWorks Grip Royal 350 millimeter leather wheel.
Shout out CoraWorks.
With an adapter that just allows me to bolt the Kuru wheel right to the buttons, which also.
Yeah, because they don't naturally.
Too.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty sick.
Remove the whole thing, and I also have paddles. So if I do get into it, like I want to go grip race and drive Nürburgring, or like Nordschleife or whatever, I can just go do that.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I've had that same style set up for 3 years now. And
nice.
I've only changed the wheel, and it's only Grip Royal wheels. I have 3 of them right on my desk over there. But the meat and potatoes of the rig is the next level racing GT Elite. base, which is been the craziest part of this whole rig.
Okay.
So I actually ended up teaming up with them. I'm one of their brand ambassadors now. But I wasn't at first. I actually just reached out to them, and I had a different brand rig at the time, and pretty much told them what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and it turned into them sending me out the GT Elite rig and testing it out and trying it out and stuff like that, and it's just been incredible.
Nice.
And with all the content that I put out and stuff like that, we ended up being a partner with the brand now.
Yeah, so, that's cool. Next Level makes some really nice stuff. I'm using their triple monitor stand, and I couldn't be happier.
The rig itself, I throw this wheel way harder than I ever should. I put a lot of abuse on this thing, but the rig itself never moves. None of it shakes. There's not a single thing, nothing creaks.
Yeah.
I have to bolt check it like a real car. It's wild. But
do an oil change.
Yeah, I have the handbrake. I have paint marker on some of the stuff, so I know if the handbrake moves, and I can just tighten it, move it back and retighten it. But yeah, so GT Elite rig, the Next Level Racing seat, and then it's the Next Level Racing, the whole TV mount, monitor mount.
Yep.
The whole shebang from them, and then we got the Thrustmaster TLCM pedals.
Oh, okay, nice.
Those were probably one of the biggest game changers, honestly, in the changing of my driving, just because it allowed, they're just that much better than the factory pedals that you get with the T300 or TX or whatever you got the Thrustmaster pedals with. Because the TLCMs, they don't come with any wheelbase. At least they didn't. I don't know if they do with any of the new ones.
I don't think they just. I still don't think they do, to be honest.
It's been rock solid for me, except for the first 6 months. I blew out the clutch spring. I literally broke it in half.
All them clutch kicks. Torretto's pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I have it right here.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. As a reminder from all my leg workouts.
And I had springs made, so I'm just R&Ding them and making sure they're good. But it's been a year, so I think they're okay to put my name on them at this point. But before, I couldn't wear shoes. They were so light on the pedals that,
right.
The weight of my shoe would just, full throttle. So it just, I couldn't play, I had to play in socks, which is okay, but it took me a while. It took me years to realize I'm gonna be driving with shoes on.
I'm fighting that battle right now.
All I play is socks. That's all I play in. I can't play in shoes. I tried it the other day, and I was like, what the fuck, my feet don't fit down here. But how do I do it in a real car? I don't understand. I just can't play in shoes. It's just I've only ever played in socks because it feels more natural to me, which is odd because I don't just drive in socks. So.
You can feel the pedals more. There's a gift and a curse to playing Assetto in socks, and I play in Crocs now. That's my go-to.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
But just because I can.
Yeah.
But with socks, you can feel exactly how hard, where you're pressing the gas pedal. I can literally SpongeBob, just big toe.
Dude,
just barely touch someone if I want to.
Yep.
I'm learning that I should be doing that in shoes because I won't be just barefoot. At least shouldn't be.
Let me stop you really quick. James, before you fall asleep, you should probably go to bed.
No, I'll leave before I fall asleep.
Because I know you worked a really long time and you drove.
Close. I'm I texted Chelsea. I'm can you bring me snacks? I'm falling asleep, right? She's there's pretzels in there, right? I'm yeah.
You work an insane amount and you literally just made it home to jump onto this. Dude, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna
go to bed. You are so cute. I love you.
All right, I'm gonna listen to the rest of this tomorrow, so I can like get me next week in the live chat and just like talk to the other people listening to this.
Yeah. Also,
for the first time, so we're like hour 40 in. So all right, I'll get on at like 9 o'clock.
That's funny. Good night, buddy.
Good night, James.
You work yourself to death. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Love gang.
So, love gang. And he's stuck here now. Now he can't leave.
Well, no, I just leave, and then it's asking me a different question. I gotta stay. In the studio. Bye.
You can leave, but stay. Yeah, I need it to record. Yep.
You've got to give it a 5 out of 5, though.
5, yeah.
How was your stream?
Yeah.
Did it say it's already downloaded or not?
Oh no, I'm pushing the wrong button.
Gotcha. All right.
Now that he's gone.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get serious. No, I fucking Simba pointed out in that video, like he put like hashtag only feats or whatever on my video where I just pushed it. My goal is to switch over to shoes, like a racing shoe, because I want to start training myself that way too. I literally watched it and my little toes are doing like weird stuff on the pedals and stuff, and I'm like, that's not good. You know what I mean? Like I'm like fucking yeah, it's not good. So now, granted, I did just order a bunch of really weird socks to stream in just because it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah. No shoes for you then.
No, but I'm still going to get some for like when we're actually playing and practicing. But yeah, that is funny. And those pedal upgrade is one of the next things I want to do too, because I've heard that the input and feeling is so drastically different that
night and day.
Yeah, I heard that.
Everything.
Yep, because now my wheel. So I went from, and I love, again, people that are listening to this, if you're just getting into it or you have this, don't take offense, because a Logitech wheel is nothing to shit on. Like, they're fucking great. Like, it is an absolutely
a way to play the game. Yeah.
A way to play the game. It's relevant as fuck. But I drive a manual steering rack Corolla, and the force feedback from the Logitech, it would do it for sure, but I'd be stressing it out and it wouldn't last long, So when I bought my T300, it was night and day, and I was like, holy fuck, I can literally replicate a strong arm manual rack Corolla if I want to now, which is really, really cool. So that upgrade was cool, and then hearing about the pedals just got me excited too, because I was like, that is fucking wild. I couldn't even imagine. But now thinking about it, yeah, I wanna do that, and I'm buying your old shifter, so upgrading the gear to feel better and better, as if you're into it and serious, it's a value. Like there's value to it.
Oh yeah,
it makes sense.
I didn't have to upgrade the shifter, but in VR, I'm going to be drifting an E46, so my reverse is to the left and up. It doesn't even have to do with drifting. I just wanted that relativity.
Yeah.
Of I have the same transmission, and when I bolted all this stuff together and figured out how I wanted it, I went outside and I sat in my E46 400 times and came back in and held my hand to the handbrake and fake steered around, pulled the handbrake, and okay, this is my car, and that's how I pretty much base this whole rig is as close to an E46 as I can get it. And now it's just up to me to get in the E46 and actually do it,
Yeah. When I got the Verosa, I wanted to practice right-hand drive, and that was the best way to get into a right-hand drive car. And I went out to the Verosa, and I took the tape measure, and I put it on the tip of my penis, and I measured to the shifter and to the handbrake.
I admit it, but that's how I installed the
crotch.
pedals.
Yeah, you got to go crotch down to figure out the actual
Third
distance. Third leg. Yep. The weird part was it was kind of cold on certain days, so I was getting different readings. You know what I mean? It's either it was
seasonal.
a negative 3 inches or positive 3 inches.
It's like adding or dropping tire pressure.
Right. Yeah. No, but it's no, that's cool. I love that you use it as a tool and a besides having fun with it, because me and you, we've done a bunch of laps together already, and we have a shit ton of fun. Yeah, it's super fun, but at the same time,
it's still a video game at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. And there's people that embrace that, and then there's people that are super serious, and I like the middle ground. You know what I mean? I like to be able to do anything.
Since ever. Like,
right,
since I was 5. I don't even know. Like,
yeah.
I was Nintendo 1. Like, that was a long time ago. But, like, so I've seen and played games my entire life, and then just being able, like, got my own house, and then the first thing was, like, simulator. Like, that was what I wanted in my house. And I was just... Now it's just turned into something crazy because
dude, it's you. You are basically turning into that. You're an ambassador for 2 different fucking sim companies right now, or well, a PC and a sim company. Yep. Your server is absolutely bonkers all the time. Your personal driving is really good, and yeah, you're. It's cool because especially in the off season right now, you're not out there doing media. You know what I mean? You're just simming right now. So this is sim season. It's sim season, and it's perfect timing. But it's really, you're finding a niche and you're latching on, and I think it's good to keep going this way because it's the balance of both is digital adrenaline to me. If you're not doing like swivel mounty stuff and simming, something's wrong. I'll have to reach out to you and be like, "Are you okay?" You know what I mean? Because that's
who hurt you.
Yeah, who hurt you? We'll beat them up. But anyway, it's one of those things where like that is you, and it's turning into like the staple of your media, and it's really rad. And I'm glad that you're like now you're going to start streaming. So and for anybody listening, if you don't know about and you do play sim stuff, Digital Adrenaline on Discord, Digital Adrenaline on Instagram, Digital Adrenaline pretty much anywhere. You're anywhere, and now you're going to start streaming. So make sure you give a follow, but. The best part about following Barry is the reward. You're getting something out of it because you're going to gain knowledge from that, which is really, really cool. You know, you're also going to get the downloads for the cool car packs, the downloads for the tracks, the cool server that he's not charging anybody. You know what I mean? It's free to do Tandem Tuesdays with Barry. So, you know, it's a really nice thing that you're doing for the community.
I just want it to be a thing that we can all have fun and jam. Like. We don't have to be at the track. We don't have to go drive 12 hours to a track and spend thousands of dollars. Like, we can do this every night.
Yep. Yeah, crazy. My only gripe is that I think Tando Tuesday should start at 9.
I agree. I agree. It should start at 9 o'clock. By the time we're done here, nobody's ever on the fucking server, and I'm like, God damn it.
Later.
Yeah, there you go. We'll talk later. That's so funny. I love you. But no, that's super sick. I wanted to talk about the Assetto stuff, and honestly, there was a lot of questions about the Assetto stuff. I want to jump into some of them really quick, just so we can bang them out while we're here. You know what I mean?
Works for me.
We might as well, since we're on the topic. Oh, Rich messaged something, but I'm just going to pass that. Oh, Rich is replying to Rio's mask and jacket picture, which was really, really good. Oh, I love him to death. All right. Well, we got a where's my hoodie? That's funny.
Probably upstairs next to the heat press.
What are your favorite things about driving virtually that... Oh, I can't even see this. That driving RL does not offer? I can answer that. Doing backflips over a track and your buddies is the best thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, just no mercy laps.
Yeah, mercy laps.
I can literally just, like, when I drive with, like, Jeremy or, like, Steve Facenda or any of those guys that, like, I got into Assetto playing with them, and like they already knew how to play before me. So like now that I can keep up, it's like extra fun to just be able to push them around the track if I want to.
Yeah.
Or I can just stay that 1 millimeter away from them every turn and just be there every transition everywhere, and they're like I can't tell if he's there. It sounds like he's there, and then they look back and it's like I am under their door. So it's just like one of those things that's just fun that I'm sure I could replicate it in real life, but it's just I don't have to worry about it. Like not even 1% in real life. Free. Like, I wouldn't care if I messed up my E46, but I would hate myself if I took somebody else's car out and they couldn't drive the rest of the day because I did something that I shouldn't have done.
Yeah, yeah, so that is literally the best part.
Yep.
And it teaches you a lot. Being reckless and shit is great. I love when
like
people are
it'll
driving.
Better prepare me for it.
Yes.
Like being crazy aggressive now, I'll better understand how to be aggressive and back down that notch that I need to at least not be too crazy. 'Cause like everyone wants me to do comps. Like I'm not against it. I'm just not ready for it. Like I could have done the Casino Royale. I thought about it. There were a couple people that were going to let me borrow their cars because my car wasn't ready in time. But it was just like, I would rather be comfortable and know that I'm not going to wad somebody's car up and like just completely ruin their day. And
that's just respect. Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm sure I could have done it, but like, that one chance that I would have gone out there and looped it in front of somebody, and then their radiator goes through their crank pulley. Like that's just, I don't want to be that guy. Like one of my first times out in a real car, especially. You know, like
no, sure.
I want to also portray that like you can get into a simulator, learn, get better at it, and then go out on track and prove that the like the simulator actually did do something, like it did help. So like that's why I do kind of take it a little seriously.
No, that's awesome. That was from Gianni Vegas.
Yep.
Do you know him? Gianni Vegas.
Yep.
And then 240SX Mandy asked, what is your sim setup? But we went through that, which is really cool. She also asked a really cool question, and we kind of touched on this. How can we support you? So following the Discord, following the Instagram, using any of the discount codes that he puts up for the Next Level Racing, or whatever, iBuyPower, or
I make my own merch.
I was about to say,
on my website. Like that's probably the biggest one. Honestly, like I do charge drivers for media at events. My end goal is to not have to. Like I don't want to have to charge a driver to just go to the event and do media, but like they're expensive for media too. So like it's also like finding the balance of what's enough for me to do what I do for them, to also give them something at the end of the day to represent themselves social media wise to a company for whatever reason. And to also just like give back to drifting to people who couldn't do or be where I am and see what I do. Like that's kind of my thing of why I post so much. There's a lot of like drifting that goes unseen. I have probably 1 million hours of real life drifting on memory card by this point. And I post as much as I humanly can, like, pretty much. But like I just want people to see drifting, like good drifting in a good way. And like still keep it interesting, entertaining, fun to watch, and like just keep people getting into it, because like I started out doing media at drag racing events and watched those die. Like it's just they fell off because everyone got so particular. Like you couldn't walk through the pits with a camera. I almost got in fights just trying to take a picture of an engine bay that I didn't know had stolen parts in it. So, like, that happened way more than I wish to admit. But like a lot of those guys are like, you'll go walking through the pits and they'll just walk up and slam the hood shut, or like throw a tarp over the car real quick. And like, I'm just like, I'm trying to give you a picture. Like I don't and like, but like that whole mentality kind of pushed me away from it. It was just like, okay, well, like this isn't very friendly. Like it's not very fun. And so it's got into drifting, and that was ballpark different. Like you can walk through the pit, ask any driver, like, hey, what's up with this thing? And 9 times out of 10, they'll stand there for an hour telling you about their car and like let you sit in it, start it, rev it up, go for a ride along. Like you never know. And like It's just something. They're just two totally different aspects in motorsports. That like the drag racing was cool for like the adrenaline rush of the cars blasting by and like you literally feel your chest cave in, you go deaf. Like it was a whole different experience, like adrenaline wise. But drifting is just like more of a like pure fun sport. It's more like about everyone going out on like having a fun vacation day or weekend. Like it's not even like drifting is pretty much like turned into mostly an escape for a lot of people. So it's just like when they want to like go to the track, they go to the track and they want to have a good time. So like it's just a whole different aspect. Everyone's very welcoming. Like you can go, especially as media. Like I feel like everyone is like even extra nice. If you walk up in like a media vest, everyone's like, "Here's 5 waters. So what else do you need?" Like, like I have drivers cook me steaks, and I'm like, "Why?" Like, like I didn't ask for it, but they're just like, "No, like you're here too." Like, we're all just like, I'm gonna cook it anyway, so eat it. Like, it's not.
No, that's
like,
cool.
It's not a greedy sport, and
no,
like,
drag racers have something to prove. That's why, like, they're out to win. You know what I mean? And like, even in the pro level stuff, even in the pro level stuff in drifting, it's still not like drag racing. Like everybody's there to just. You still want to win, but you're there to also have a good time. Like you're going to a drag strip to get your car to the end of the quarter mile before the guy next to you, and that's it.
Yep.
Like maybe a few people are there just for fun, but not nearly the drift community. And I think that's a pretty big driving factor in it, is that like there's usually money involved. You know, like when you're racing, you don't just race for shits and giggles. You know, you're trying to win money.
Right.
Especially if you're doing street racing and all that. And like, you know, you don't want the other guy to know what you have and all that other type of shit. Where drifting is like, let's just go
Come
jam.
on in.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's very admirable too, that your end goal. I liked how you said, so like we want to support, you know, our media and stuff. So she's asking like, you know, how could we support you? But I love that you said ultimately, like, you don't want to charge. Like you're getting money for media, which is really cool. But because the community is the way that they are, they're not like the drag racing a-holes. You know what I mean? It's so cool and calm and collect and just friendly. It makes you want to. You have to, because and you're supporting yourself. So people know that, you know this. Barry's supporting himself through media.
Full time now.
Yes.
Yeah,
so supporting him and asking that question, Mandy, that's awesome, because somebody like Barry needs the support. You know what I mean? Like he's not going out there as a hobbyist, which you still want to support the hobbyists though. You know what I mean? They're taking the time to go out there and do this. So support anybody that is supporting you by taking fucking pictures of your car. But you got the merch, you got all that shit.
I put a lot of time in of like learning myself before I even attempted to charge anyone either. Like, I probably went 6 years just all out of pocket. That would be an occasional 20 or 50 bucks that someone would send me. But like, to me, I was learning a lot, and like I was trying to figure out what I wanted and like this type of videos that I wanted to make. Like I'm just not, I don't know if it's like naturally creative is the way to say it, but I just think of something, I hear something, I see something, and I just click, I make it, and I just I just feel like once I got on that ball, like the ball rolling on making videos, then that was just kind of like my niche, and that's like I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until I got really good at it, and then it was just like Rich and all those guys were just like, dude, like charge. Like,
no,
what the hell, dude? Like you are doing too much.
I've watched you on grid work harder than I think I've ever worked on any normal job that I've worked. Because you're just running
all over the place.
Yeah, running all over the place, and it's like the mental, like you literally also, it's like that guy didn't return your GoPro because he went out of the pits. You remember that, like you're good at everything that you do is really, really wild. So like, of course, like when Rich is like, yeah, get paid for that, you're deserving. You know what I mean? Like, but it's so admirable that you said that you like like your end goal, it's not end goal, but
like if I could sell enough merch and like stuff like that, and like just if drivers wanted to pay me, cool. Like I don't want to feel obligated to get drivers certain things, especially at fun events. Like if I'm just going to East Coast Bash, I don't want to be like, yeah, it's going to be another $500 on top of your weekend for me to give you media. Like, it's just, to me, like, I also understand how much drifting costs now, too. So, like, that is in my head of, okay, well, they also have to afford the tires, the fuel for the car, the truck, the trailer that's getting the car there, the tolls, the food, the night stay, how they're staying, hotels. Like, I don't know if people that don't drift understand how quickly $1,000 goes.
Right. Yep.
But it goes immediately.
Yes, it does.
So it's just one of those things, like, and if I could just sell enough merch or like
supplement.
I have like a Venmo link on there. I haven't ever once mentioned it before now. But like I have that there if people want.
Heard it here first.
Like it's not my thing. Like I don't want people to just like send me money for no reason. Like yeah, I'll accept it. Like last year, Cammie needed surgery. Well, this was the end of 2022. Cammie needed surgery on her leg. She hurt her leg really bad, and
that's your dog for everybody listening.
Through Instagram and Facebook and just friends from drifting, 100% people from drifting raised $9,300 in 24 hours. And
that's super cool.
That paid 100% for the surgery. So it's just like from the night before, I was like heartbroken that Cammie was like, she couldn't even walk on 3 legs. Like she couldn't even lay down without me helping her. So it's like, went from her running around, jumping around to absolutely nothing immediately, and then also not being able to afford getting her help. I immediately was just like down. And then like guys like Tim Frito, like he's like the one that was just like, let's help Barry. And he actually like started the GoFundMe, and that went wild. Like it went crazy. Like I did not expect it. I didn't even like, I just was like, thank you. And like closed my phone and like went and spent time with Cammie. And like, Becca looked probably 2 hours later and was like, dude, there's like $4,500 in there already. And we're like, fucking what? Like, I was just awesome, like, okay. Yeah, it was like 100% from drifting. So it was like, that's one reason why I run. Well, like, I have no reason not to hustle, you know?
Yeah. No,
like,
that's cool.
Just so awesome in drifting.
Yeah, you meet a lot of really cool people. That's super cool. The community can be really good, and it's cool that you're giving back the way you do too. You know what I mean? Like you're absolutely killing it with the media. And guess what? We're in the media section now. I love that it organically just went bloop. So hey, Barry, Digital Adrenaline, you do media as
he does
well.
More than play video games.
More than just a gamer. So let's talk. We'll just dive right in. So you are known for literally the first person style swivel mount style of footage. Like if I've ever see the footage in that style, I'm like, Barry is the man. Like that is your, that was like you. All of your videos, and you had a lot that went very, very viral, which is really cool. And just that perspective of video, I don't care. I know a driver can buy the mount, they can buy the camera, they can put it on the car. Doesn't matter to me. That's a Barry view. So
I have that so dialed.
Right.
Like
you
people
do.
Don't even know. Like every mount is like tuned to spec. Like I have them. I know exactly how tight they need to be. And like depending how fast the track is, I can tighten it up if need be or whatnot. But I also know like when it's a 350Z, it needs to be in a certain place because the roof is angled a certain way compared to an E36 that's a flat roof or a Corolla. So like there's a ton of different aspects that I only learned from doing it over and over and over and over on different cars, of how to aim it exactly to get the shot that I want the first time, every time. So
Right.
It's just now to a point I barely have to even look. I literally
It's
throw
crazy
the
to me that
mount
you can
on.
do that.
I throw the mount on and I'm off. Like
Yep.
Yeah,
it
I
takes
watch you
me
do it
5
for like a
seconds.
car. Yeah, I watch you do it like if Rich is in front of me, you just kind of smack it on there and walk away. I'm like, how does he know it's gonna be good? And like the fact that you do it all the time, like it makes sense, but it's still to me it just blows my mind that it's just always good.
Yeah. Yep, that's
Thank you.
years
Wild.
of doing it. Yeah, you're very good at that craft, and you've captured so much cool shit too. You've captured some of my favorite clips for sure. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. You gave us all memories. You know, that's the one thing I love about media is that, and I know that they understand it to a degree, but the actual like depth of how it hits our hearts, you know what I mean, and our minds for that memory and that moment that it brings us back every single time we see that fucking clip is so cool. Like your final bout clip of us, I loved. Like
So
I
sick.
literally, I'm like, this is so sick because
It's
people
probably
don't
the coolest
see
clip.
it. Right? And they don't see that perspective. You know, they
Right.
don't see how fast it runs up really quick. You know what I mean? So like, especially because I watched some footage from the stands and I'm like, we look like we're going so slow.
So slow,
But like
yeah.
in the car and we're not.
Super
We're fucking
intense.
yeah, it is intense. And like that captures it and it's really cool that you can do that. And the coolest part is the efficiency. Bro, I can't even fucking turn my GoPro on and record my helmet
Same.
cam
Oh, it's so bad.
without it going boop, and I'm like, Bob, and I hear doot, 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 and I'm like, motherfucker. So for you to be able to run
Every
out
time.
on track every single time, and you're just throwing arms, you're just like an octopus with these fucking things, and being able to capture that footage is very. You always impress me, my guy.
Thank you.
You should be. Like, honestly, like, GoPro needs to make, like, a fucking, like, biography on you. You know what I mean? Like, they need to follow you around because you're deserving of that.
Yeah, talk about a future collab. GoPro
Well,
needs to be hitting you up. That's for sure.
No, they really do. And honestly, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to get them on the line.
You got all the connections tonight, Damien. Crazy. Actually, we have 100 GoPros for Barry.
I wish. So
Give
it's
one
funny.
out to everyone.
So I love how Barry has the mentality that like we gotta have too, because we like to on the podcast we love giving shit out and like whatever. Now we have people like brands are starting to make exclusive stickers for us to give out on the podcast. So it's the same mentality. Like you'd love to be supported enough that you could give drivers that experience. I'd love to be supported enough that we can give back to the viewers and the listeners and you know
Right.
you come on and you're like, yeah, I just started photography. I'm like, sick, that's cool. Here's a brand new camera, you know, like something crazy. But and that's a
All right,
different type
Oprah.
of people. I wish, dude. I'd love to be. Get me Oprah rich. You know what I'm saying? You see what happens. Everybody eats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bring
But
the
no.
whole hood with me.
But no,
Yeah, like if I was good enough, like if I was set, if I had the money I had now, like when I was 18 now, I'd be such a different person. I'd be able to just do so much more. But like, got a house now and
Yep.
stuff like that. So like, it's
grown up
it's a
stuff
give take.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yep, we
Like
got
that.
bills. Yeah, they never stop.
Yep.
No,
Like,
that's
there's
cool.
house stuff going on. Like I don't tell anyone about, like really, but it's just like there's always something. But and I don't know, like if people seem to think I'm fake because I don't bring up negativity, but like I've dealt with so much negativity, and like I don't want to talk about negativity because it brings me down.
Yeah.
So, like I'm always just trying to promote anything positivity. So that's why I'm always just like keep drifting fun or like check on your friends and stuff like that, and just anything that can just keep people motivated, like telling everyone to just keep going on my story randomly. I'll just put random stuff on there that I think had helped me, may help one other person. That's all I care about. You
That's
know?
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's just stuff like that. Like I've been through hell growing up, so it's just one of those things. Like I've gotten to this point, and I've learned a lot on my own getting to this point. That I don't know. I just feel like I have a little bit different of an outlook on things. Where like
Yeah.
I would definitely benefit if I was more of a self salesman and like told people, yeah, go here, pay me. But like, it's just not me. Like, I don't, I would rather that, like, if you buy my merch and I see you at the track wearing my hoodie, like, dude, like, there's nothing better. Like, it's just seeing, and like going to the gamblers, I'll see like 20 and it's like, holy shit. It's like, it's just so cool. Like, this all started, I got a camera for Christmas 8 years ago. And
that's
turned
cool.
into this. Like, there was never a plan to build a page and get 80,000+ followers from it. Like, that just happened. I've never paid for an ad once. Like, it's just all really been organic growth. I've just all on my own. I figured it all out. Learned photography, videography, what I wanted, and then it was just figuring out what shots that, like, what angles I liked, and then how I could put my twist on it and do it a million times. And that's the GoPro videos.
Yeah. Now, besides, and that was one of the other questions somebody asked, and I'm not going to go back on my phone, but they were asking gear, you know what I mean? And the quick answer is, of course, a lot of GoPros. A lot.
How many GoPros do you have?
8.
Well, he goes through them, too. He goes through them. Like,
I'm sure.
Yep. One will break, you know, like, and you got to, So a lot of GoPros, and then you just started, you've always had a camera. You've always taken stills and stuff like that, too, I've seen. But I know you recently started shooting video a little bit more with the camera, and that's a little
comfortable. New. Yeah, gotten a little more comfortable with taking videos instead of photos with the camera. Like, I just feel like there's a progression to everything with what I do, especially. And, like, yes, I loved the taking photos and stuff like that, but I got to a point where I got good at taking videos and, like, got comfortable with taking videos, and I felt like I was one of the only, like, there were a point where there were only, like, 1 or 2 or 3 people that were doing video at a drift event. And so, like, it just got saturated with photos for a little while, so it's just like, well, if anyone's going to try me, like, I'll just try it.
Yeah.
Do you prefer video over photos?
Yeah. Just for drifting.
Like, because it's an action sport, right?
You don't get the adrenaline from a photo. Like, you get the idea of the moment in a photo. Like, it's cool to capture it. But, like, now I can take good enough video that I can freeze frame a photo from a video. So it's like, it's once I got to that point, like, now I only, like, I take videos in 4K, typically 30 frames with my Sony A6600 that I'm using.
Okay. That answers that question. That was the next piece of gear I was going to ask about. Yep.
So that's, like, I only shoot in that, and then I can typically take any photo from any frame that I want from that, but 9 times out of 10, the videos are just better to watch anyway. Like, I love drifting and watching it too. I just got good at taking the videos, you know.
Right.
So it's like I have kind of just turned into making my own highlight page. Just like I know what good drifting, like, looks like, and I like promoting better drifting, so that's why, like, you don't really see a lot of crashes on my page. You'll see some. I'll post some. Like, everyone likes a good crash every once in a while, but
sadly, we all like a good crash. I mean,
always live for carnage, unfortunately.
It's just not, like, something that I like posting of my friends crashing. Like, it's that, like, like, it does well. Sure, great. Like, that's not why I post things on social media. Like, I just want other people to enjoy it. That's all. Like, and so it's just like I try and post good driving and good drivers. Like, if they're good people, then I'll help them, like, try and get better, and, like, I'll send them more laps. Like, I'll take more time of my day going through footage and sending someone that I know, like, that will go out of their way for me. Like, there's people that'll just, like, randomly, like, they're not even driving, and they'll go buy me lunch because I've been on grid all day, and they know that I don't stop, and they'll bring me, like, they'll walk lunch down the grid and give me food. And it's like,
right.
You didn't have to do this. And like, so like those are the people that are like, they just end up getting extra care when it comes to like my footage, because I get a ton of footage. Like, I wish I could post everything that I get, but like I get so much that I can't post it all, because half the time I'm also like I have to rewatch the event too. Because like a lot of times I'm running around so much I don't even watch the run. Like, I don't even know what happened. So I get home and I want to see it too. So like I watch a lot of them and then go like, oh, that was a good one, and like trim that and put it onto my GoPro cloud, because I have an infinite memory storage for my GoPro cloud, so I can just trim, save, trim, save, trim, save, and then I can go back into there and just take all those and then put them into whatever editing program I'm using and edit that lap or other laps together.
Dude,
stuff like
it would be wild if you did start taking from the start of you like recording and just start making like those like 3-4 hour raw fucking drifting YouTube uploads. That would be insane. Like, no editing, like just throwing it up, you know what I mean? Like, just insane. That would be crazy. You're also really good at capturing the funny moments, because not so long ago did you send me from my very first fucking event in Tennessee, me spun out on the side of the track and with a caption, "What are you doing there?" or something like that. Barry's always watching. You know what I mean? Barry's always watching. He's like Santa Claus, but it was fucking hilarious. I'm like, why do you have that? Like, why is that in your, like, to send to me as fast as you did, just to be funny and be an asshole to me?
But it's just like one of those, like, so I'm like sitting there, I'm going through 6 memory cards from like different GoPros, my Sony camera. I'm also like taking videos with my phone. Like, sometimes my camera overheats. I can't even take videos with it. So like I have to put the camera down and just use my phone. Like, it's just like whatever I have in my hand. Yeah. I'm getting a video or something. And that's just like the mentality. And I've gotten really good at the right place, right time thing. Like, that's just like kind of my thing at this point. But like, I typically do like 15 to 22,000 steps a day. So it's
a workout.
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
that's
like,
ridiculous.
It's wild to like think at 38, like I am running marathons at a drift event for free, like just to run around to get media. So like, if I went to a marathon, I'd run 50 feet and be like, nah,
die.
Like,
yes, right.
Like,
that's super
drift
funny.
Cars, like put a couple of drift cars next to it, and I gotta chase them. I'll probably be good. Like, I don't know. Like, I just get endless energy when I'm at the track.
Yeah.
And I just hustle. And ever since I drove, like, I think driving was like what flipped the switch of I need to get as much as I humanly can while I'm here, because I can't get it afterwards.
Sure. Yeah. That's super cool. I love to see the transition too of how many of our media family is getting into drifting, like actual drifting too. It's really cool. It's fucking cool. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, we're gonna get you that GoPro sponsorship or endorsement. Next is Red Bull.
Soon Barry's video will be in a GoPro ad.
It should be. I can't believe. How's it not? That's the fucking question. Like, they're doing all this other shit. Like, I can't believe that they haven't seen like one of your. They have for sure, but it's probably
on a few. But
I'm sure
rare for them to share one. Like, they've been tagged in quite a few viral videos.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's insane. That's because their demographic is probably more like skateboarding, you know, like whatever else,
surfing,
or like other surfing. Yeah, that stuff. Which is crazy to think about, that they're selling, like, I feel like only drifters buy GoPros, like, in our world, that's what it feels like.
And it's like job security. Like, I can tell you, I go through minimum 2 a year. Like, just
that's
me
funny.
Putting them in dumb places. Like,
Speaking of that, what is the wildest thing that you think you've ever caught doing media?
Like on camera?
Yeah, on camera, because you're in the right place at the right time. What is like the
craziest? I've caught so much.
I believe it. Just throw some shit out. Throw some randoms.
It's like a Rolodex going through my head right now of just all the clips.
Maybe on an extreme level, because you catch a lot of really good driving, which is cool. Good bumper sweeps, like really good, like tight tandems. But that's almost like
that's the norm for you.
I was gonna say that's like the norm, because that's what you're catching. You're catching all the good drifting. What's some crazy shit? Like, did you ever see like a muffler fly off and then it stabs a teddy bear and off into the distance, and a wolf is howling, and then all of a sudden it gets a boner and now you're pregnant? But like
one of them that sticks out was a private day at East Coast Drift School.
Okay.
Went there with Barry Bernardo and Jim Bissey, and it was first lap of the day. There were like 100 geese on track.
Oh no! Oh no!
Like, we pulled out on track and we're just like, well, wonder if they're gonna go anywhere. And
yeah.
So they start their, like, as soon as they took off from the line, 98% of the geese took off. Like, almost all of them. So, like, that was wild to see. It was like the whole sky went dark for like half a second, because it was like just birds. And then they get into the manji section, and when they're doing the manji section, 2 of the geese, I guess, were lost or stuck or something.
No!
Barely went up over Barry's hood. Like, I got the view from Jim Bissey's chase car on his roof, and the geese are like barely flapping up over Barry's car as he drifts under it. It was just like,
that's cool.
What, like, 1 in a million shots.
Yeah. Sure. That's awesome. That's cool. That reminds me of an old. I think somebody had it on film. Is Perez went out on Evergreen, before it was like Evergreen, and he was doing something there, and it sucks because I love animals, but he just happened to get like a squirrel fell off like one of the power lines, and it just like went under his wheel and shot it out like 100, like just shot this fucking corpse, but that's funny. So what's any other thing? Anything else that was like ever like epic? I know you got a lot of brutal crashes for sure.
Yeah.
Like you got the famous Rich Crunch, right? That was you.
Yep. Steve,
Facenda.
Rich,
Yep.
And Xenophon.
Good old Christopher.
That's like my least favorite. I've still never posted that full crash. Fun fact.
Oh wow.
I've posted like the one that went super viral. I think it hit 1 million views, of where it just like the trending audio goes up until right before they crash. And it just, the whole thing pauses and then it just ends. Like, that hit 1 million views, but like I never posted the crash. Rich posted the crash.
Oh, okay.
And Steve did. But I've edited it so many ways and like sent that to Rich so many ways. Like, I've made him
that's funny
emotional damage edits. Like I make some weird stuff that doesn't always hit the internet, but like every once in a while I'll send it to him and let's just make him laugh. But like, there's a couple gnarly crashes. Seb in his FC, when he had the convertible FC and was chasing Marley, and they went into the tire wall at turn 1. That was like the first crash with the swivel mount on the roof.
Okay.
And I had it on Seb's trunk because he had the top off. It was topless. So I had the swivel mount on his trunk, and that was the first heavy impact.
Okay.
With the mount on it to see if it was going to go freaking flying or what. It didn't budge a centimeter. So it's like, okay, like, this is one plus to having this type of point of view is I already know, because dude, the G forces when they hit had to probably be like 100-mile-an-hour crash. It was, it was one of the most violent. It totaled Seb's RX-7.
Yeah.
It probably totaled Marley's S14, but he just kept
Marleying
it anyway.
Yeah, he just Marleyed it.
Yeah. But that was probably like the craziest, especially because it happened just so fast and it was Marley who went into the tire wall, who I've seen do 15,000 laps at Englishtown.
Very good driver.
Without even thinking about it, with barely trying. He's like one hand on the wheel, one hovering the handbrake the whole lap. And it's like doing nothing.
Right.
And so he was always like, reliable. So when that happened, it was just like, oh shit. Like it can happen to anyone. Like it doesn't matter who it is.
Yep. It's inevitable too. That's what sucks. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's like, you got to know it's going to happen. So I was building the FD to drift it, and then that's when it was like one time into the wall. It's going to be $3,000. Like I'm buying a car. Like this is dumb. Like why am I going to drift this and like learn drifting? Like yes, it would have been gangster. Like so cool. Like have on a resume, but like
no, you're 46. The 46 is a good choice.
The E46 was $3,000, and that thing
exactly.
Like I don't have a single mechanical mercy for it. So like when I do, like it's getting fixed, I'll be actually at my buddy's shop taking videos of it getting repaired, and we're putting new arms on it, doing the rear reinforcement on the chassis, and doing a whole bunch of stuff to it. New diff, pretty much fixing everything that made it suck. And gonna try and do it again and make sure. And because the last time I took it out, it just had eBay angle blocks. Like $35 angle kit from eBay.
Yeah.
Stock power 2.5. No power. 315 gear diff, which had no business being in it. Had like not enough power for too long of a gear, and didn't self steer. I had to steer the car 100%. So like that was the hardest part. Was like going from a Seto and like thinking it was gonna do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do it 1%. Right. But like, so once that car's out, and hopefully should be at least a little bit easier for me.
Sick. Yeah, I'm excited to see you drive again. That's gonna be awesome. Hell yeah. You coming soon to a track near you. Barry, aka Dominic Torretto.
Dommy.
Yeah. Did you? I like that. Did you also caught the infamous Hayes, right? You were the Hayes crash? Was that you?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, is that a story?
I also didn't post that one either.
Oh,
that one went super viral because Derp posted it and collabed it with me.
And do you have a lot from Derp or not? I'm just curious. Do you have any more from Derp?
What do you like?
Like you
sent
posted
that to him.
No, I'm just saying. Did he repost post a lot of your stuff?
So we had like a little back and forth relationship going for a little while, where he'd run out of content
and be like, Barry, what do you got?
Slide in my DMs, and it happened enough that there were a lot of people who started to think that I was Derp.
That's awesome.
I just played with it. It was just like some people
maybe
some people say no, like.
That's good.
Started rumors with it, and like
that's good.
It just made it more worse for him.
No,
like, but like he was totally like, do it, like just
no, sure.
It just turned into its own little comedic thing for us, and it would just be like he knew I didn't like posting crashes, but he knew I got them all.
Sure.
So he'd hit me up. Hey, get anything good this weekend? Because I heard some shit happen. I got it.
Oh, that's funny. No shit. Yeah, because I thought you got that one. I was trying to think of some other ones, because I've seen your work like spread out everywhere. So it's really, I mean, it's neat to see how it spreads. What's your most viral video? Do you know off the top of your head?
Eric Medici from Brazil came to Englishtown, and he drove in the Gambler, and he borrowed Bruno from BR Drift Force, his green E36.
Right.
Never drove it a lap in his life. Just got in the car, 650 wheel horsepower turbo E36 that I've watched Bruno like try to manhandle for years, and it's a handful of a car.
Right.
Eric comes from Brazil. I've never known this dude. never met him a day in my life. I go to put the GoPro in the car. He doesn't know a word of English, and I'm like, mind if I put this on there? And he's just like,
yeah.
He's my like contraption, and it was
right.
like, what? And I was just like, fuck it, and like, it's like, go.
Right.
Like, I don't know what else to say to you, and like literally just put the GoPro on him and watched him do a lap, and he did like a better lap at Englishtown than I've seen like most drivers do. It was just like, okay, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Then it was like, okay, like I started paying attention to his driving, and later in the day, I already got enough GoPro videos, so I just wanted a different angle, and I went at Englishtown. My other Noodle Master is the bank shot. It's pretty much like also kind of how like where I started with media and videos and stuff like that. So like I kind of went back to that and went over to the bank, and he rode the entire wall from before the banner all the way down past me, like at the bottom of the wall, like literally bumped back of the car against the entire wall, but just dialed, didn't move the wheel one freaking bit. Just threw it in, set to angle, rode the entire wall, and just drove off. And like that hit 14 million views.
Oh, that's crazy.
So fast. Like it was just like,
he just mic dropped in front of you and was like, all right.
Like a week. I never knew the dude. I couldn't even talk to him.
Right.
Like, and it was just the craziest thing, because I've also, like, I saw how many others before that, like guys that drove Englishtown weekend after weekend after weekend, like do gnarly wall rides. Like Bissy, I'd probably see him do some of the best ever, but this dude just comes, it's like a practice day, and just shows everyone up. I was like, what the hell was that? Like, literally, and it's like, I got it to a T, like, as he came into the screen, focused right on his car, got it in 4K 120, so I could slow-mo it, full speed it, I could do whatever with the clip.
That's sick.
And it was just like, that was the video.
14, what'd you say, 14 million?
14 million, yeah.
Jeez. And that goes with this question from All I Need Is One Mic. Do all noodles go to heaven? Guy. Yep. And he's asking if all noodles go to heaven.
all noodles do go to heaven.
Oh, there you go. No, that's sick. Yeah, I'm super stoked that you were able to, like, capture all those moments and get the recognition for your media. I love to see friends succeed, but I also, it's when you work as hard as you do and you're running around, like, you earned you literally earned what came to you with the social media success and everything else. So I think it's really cool. I just hope that people support you in the way that they can, and it seems like they're really starting to pick up. I think the drift community as a whole is starting to understand a little bit more the importance of our media family and just our community in general. With Cammy's Bill, like, that's fucking cool. I see your hoodies everywhere now, so that's really cool. Like, I think things are slowly picking up, and if you want to support your local media and you're listening, hook them up. You know what I mean? Buy those prints, buy whatever. I see you're starting to sell posters, you're doing the thing. So
I got a whole bunch of stuff on my website. I'm just trying to make it so, like, we can all have these things to, like, look at later on. Like, I still have, like, posters and stuff from events growing up when I got into drifting, but now I can make them. So, like, it's just, like, so fucking cool that, like, I have that opportunity now, and, like, just traveling, being able to go to different tracks, meet all these new people, and, like, because of them seeing what I do, and they immediately, like, fall in love with my media and, like, how hard I hustle. And, like, they all, like, seem to have a different reason why, like, they're drawn to me as a media guy, and, like, why a lot of them still continuously reach out to me, like, to pay me for videos from events and stuff like that. Like, a lot of the mid-pond guys are fantastic. Like the Southern hospitality down there is unmatched. Like,
That's awesome. Yeah.
Just going down there, I went down there. I didn't know anyone other than Aceto. Like I went down there the first time. I didn't know like anyone but Front Street, and I got there before all of those guys anyway. So like I was all on my own, but I get there and they didn't let me be alone for 2 seconds. Like I was immediately, we're all homies from the moment that I got to the track and like met everyone. We're all just already boys. Like it was just,
that's cool,
and it's just still like that. It's so cool.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Fuck yeah. I love to hear it because I love to hear when people are supportive and embracing everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I love community. I love drifting. That's why I'm so passionate about some of this stuff. And also, I get really mad about some of the shit that I see too because it's personal. You know what I mean? This is our lives. So I love the positive vibes. I love all that shit. I mean, of course, like especially on the podcast, we talk a bunch of shit and have a lot of fun, but it's always a joke. It's always just for fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nobody's pissed off.
Can't be too serious.
No, exactly. No, not at all. I'd like to spitfire some shit at you.
Yeah.
I'd like to go through the questions because I want to make sure we didn't miss anything. You know what I mean, question wise. Yeah. And also, if people took the time to write it, if we didn't cover it, I'm going to go over it. You know what I mean? Because again, they're reaching out. So let's see here. And a lot of this we covered, of course, too. Do you have, and we'll just like spitfire, like bang, bang, bang. Top 5 favorite drift teams that are still active and why?
Damn.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Let's do top 3. Do top 3.
I mean,
5 is a lot.
One of my top, I got to say Hayes. It's like.
Nice. Yeah, hell yeah.
Definitely all homies. And like So, like, Mike went out of his way to make sure that I was able to go to Final Bout last year. And, like, stuff like that. It's like, I can't replace those memories. So, like,
sure,
he's just one of those people that will go out of his way. He's one of the best guys.
He's on another planet.
I love that, man.
I will, yes, he is. You can't talk enough good shit about Mike. And I mean, the rest of the Hayes boys can fucking suck it. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're all just really good people. You know, really, really good people. So that makes sense to me. That's really cool. And Mike deserves some recognition for being a fucking sweetheart. Dude, he cares about people. Yes.
Yeah, and he cares more about the team than he does anything else. Like, it doesn't matter what I get of him. Like, he could care less. Like, he's just like, okay, cool. Like,
where's Jeff?
Everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, where are my boys at? Like, and that's like, dude, I love that so much. Like, it's just, he isn't selfish about anything. Like, it's just, he wants everyone on the team to look as cool as everyone else. Like, he doesn't want anyone to be singled out or anything like that. And I mean, they all have cool cars. They make sure that they all look good, like 90% of the time. They drive like idiots, so of course they're gonna crash every once in a while.
Sure. That was a good answer. Yeah.
They at least go and fix the cars again before the next event 9 times out of 10. You know.
Yeah.
So, like,
for sure.
I gotta give them credit for that too.
I like that. I like that made the list. Who else? What else we got?
I mean, not just because of you two, but Kuroshi is definitely easily number 2. And also with Rich. Like,
thanks,
Rich
buddy.
has been one of my biggest supporters.
You guys are really close too. Yep.
Like, literally, it's been like the past couple of years, especially like FD was like, I wanted to make sure that he was good, you know, like I didn't want him to have to even worry about having media or like asking media after an event. So it's like he was more than willing to take care of me, help me get to the events, pay me for my like what I was doing. So I just gung ho went as hard as I possibly could, and so I'd do anything for Rich, man. Like he took me to Tennessee. For the Poccast,
Yep.
we have gone all over the place. We just went to the Drift Appalachia event. He brought me down there as his crew guy. And dude, like stuff like that. It's just like
he's another Mike. Yeah, he's another Piergolini.
Yeah, I'll never get those memories back. And like on top of it, I also learned so much from him as a driver. Like just watching his driving from all my in-car videos that I like to get, and like those angles, because I pay attention more to like what he's doing than anything else that's going on outside of the car. So like stuff like that, and I'd like take notes of like the things that he likes, and then just try and like
implement it. Right. Yeah.
Do that more. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
and
cool.
Just like how me and you went up to spend the night together. When
we did. Oh yeah, it was very comfortable. Barry's the best snuggler ever. The weird thing is he snuggles a little different. His feet are at your face, and
wild.
He's always 69 in you, but yeah. Yeah, that was good times. That was really fun. Yeah, and Palmer was sick.
Third drift team, and it's hard. I'd probably gotta say my boys, Team Orange, No Grip, Team Orange, whatever they go by today.
They drive really hard. They drive really hard.
Like, they are the definition of progression. When anyone, like, asks me, like, if seat time is what is, like, gets you better, it's like, I'm pulling up a video of James and his Fox Body Mustang. Because he is, like, the driver that I watched go from every fucking lap blowing off into the grass, the woods. He would go 100 miles an hour. Like, he would give it every bit of dick that he had to keep up with Christian and Tyler Foley, who have been drifting for years together already.
Right.
Like, but they wouldn't pussyfoot just knowing that he was behind them. Like, there's certain mentalities of like waiting for the homies, which is cool. Like, that's fine. But those two were just like, no, like tough love. Catch up. Like, figure it out. And it was just like event after event after event. I would watch him blow off track, wreck, break the car. Like, he went from 0 to one of the best drivers at Club Loose. And just, he didn't do anything to the car. He just fixed it and did laps. Like, it was just years of, like, 3 years of just same trans, same gearing. Like, he'd maybe change the gearing sometimes depending on what layout it was. Or, like, if, like, Christian went to nitrous, so he then had to, like, do some crazy shit with gearing to try and keep up with an FD driver in an FD car with nitrous. Now he's in a grassroots Fox Body. And still puts tire marks on Christian's door lap after lap.
That's
it's
sick.
Like, it's wild. Like, and they're like cool dudes. Like, you go back to the pit, their whole family's there. They got the dog. They got like everyone's just chilling, hanging out. Like, it's just cool. Like, and to like see their family aspect of like how the like what they bring to drifting and how they enjoy it is just like cool to see. And like,
that's
how
awesome.
Stoked they get from like the laps I get of them. It's like, it's just
inspirational.
Like,
I'm sure.
I can't even like explain how cool it is. Because sometimes like I'll like get off track. And I'm like, dude, that lap was like wild, and I'll pull the lap right off the GoPro immediately. Like, have it on my phone, and like everyone's just surrounding me, watching on my phone. Like, it's just awesome. Like, you can't recreate those moments, and it's just cool. Like, I love it.
No shit, that's super cool. Yeah, they drive hard.
They've always supported me and wear my merch every time I see them. So like,
hell yeah.
It's just I love those guys.
That's sick. Hell yeah. That's a good answer. Lowly Life is asking, can I drunkenly moon people out of your car again? That's pretty funny.
My buddy Alex. Gladly. Come on by.
You got a lot.
We'll go out
Come
tonight.
on.
We start at midnight.
I'm gonna just. I haven't done shit. People need to do more stuff like that. I miss doing reckless,
And
dumb
now I have
shit
8
like that.
GoPros. Let's
Yeah,
do
now
it.
and
I
Barry.
try and explain this to people. Like,
Yeah,
invite
That's
me to
funny.
things. I am
Yeah.
12 videos. Like, just
yeah. And Barry's good at editing, so he can blur out your penis. You don't gotta worry about it if it pops
make
out.
it bigger.
Or we
I
can
do
CGI it, waving like a windsock. You know,
That
whatever
would be
you want.
incredible.
That would be incredible. You got a lot of
transition.
new transition, just dick transition. A lot of people like Caitlin, how are you so fucking cool? A lot of people like saying like, you know, like giving you some props. What kind of berries do you like? I get it.
Nice. Yeah. I've never heard that before.
This is a really good one, and it's from Javi. Javi, what kind of music hypes you up when you're simming? I'm sure he's asking, or just hypes you up. I actually like that question because that's not
because I have different music for different hype. What I'm
levels
going to do.
Oh yeah.
So like Aceto, I don't know. I like that more like hip hop, Suicide Boys type beat stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
But like when I'm like on my way to the track or I'm on like about to go out on grid and I put my AirPods in to just like get myself ready to like I'd literally run for an hour straight. So like, it's my gym. So like I'm 9 times out of 10 either listening to something that's yelling into my head.
Okay.
And like old school Trapped, like Headstrong, Linkin Park.
Oh man, you're going back there.
Hell yeah.
I forgot that you're like, I mean, you're younger than me, but you're like still in that like that era of music.
Breaking Benjamin.
I haven't heard Trapped in forever.
It's because they only have one song. That's why.
And that's the only song I need.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that song came out. I bought that album just for that song.
Remember buying albums?
Yeah, crazy, right?
What the fuck is that's cool. No, that's cool. I never really think of that. You know what I mean? Like music to ask people like what gets them hype. You know what I mean? Because I'm weird. I'm like one of the few people that doesn't listen to music when I'm driving.
I was gonna say also sometimes Seto, I prefer not having music too, so I can hear the car and what I'm doing.
The
like,
car,
If it's an intense like tandem session, like Tandem Tuesdays, I just want to hear engines, like
Sure.
just so I can hear what the hell is going on all around me, and then also just be able to drive as much of an animal as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a little distracted with music. And then
See, I think I'd be too distracted. I'll start tapping or like
Start-
I'm doing
start
double bass
dancing
on the
on-
clutch and I'm like whoa.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my thing. But also, I just never I didn't put a stereo in anything. So I'm gonna do it. I want to do it for this year and see how it works out. But I'm gonna start doing it with the sim rig. I'm gonna do it with the sim rig too, though. You know what I mean? Just to try, have music on in the background and jam with everybody. This question comes from JD CCONYT.
Nailed
What piece of equipment do you use most often? I can't even read today. And I'm sure it's GoPro.
GoPro.
Yeah, it's GoPro. But honestly, I've seen you with everything. You captured my wall boop with your phone. You know what I mean?
It's literally whatever's in my hand.
Yeah.
I've used all of them so many times that I don't even have to think. Like I literally just point shoot at this point. Like it's just wild.
Yeah.
How many how repetitious it's been.
Right.
But like that's also why I like traveling and going to new tracks, because then I get like a new feeling of like, and it's just like a level of difficulty. Like I don't like things being easy. I don't know. Like I'd rather it not. So like make me work for it a little bit. You know.
It's worthwhile then. It's worthwhile.
Yeah, it's just satisfying. Like I've done so much like learning on my own that like it's cool to be able to apply that stuff in real time and like not even think about it anymore.
But it's stuff that I had to spend years learning. And now I can literally just like run up. I know exactly what to put my camera dial to and start shooting, just depending on if it's bright out, dark out, how much smoke there is, how fast the track is, how slow it is. Like, it's just like different variables. And like some tracks are better with the chase cam than they are the follow cam, because I'll put the GoPro facing forward or backward.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like facing backward, like the RSD layout, the comp at RSD that you did.
Yep.
The rear-facing cameras did not like that layout because of all the like straight sections.
Yeah. Okay.
Like there were like the couple of like optional, like the run up to the like the big downhill and stuff like that. So the camera didn't really know where to face, because the drivers would be going straight and then the other way. But I just knew that from doing a couple. I'd watch the GoPro and be like, okay, I don't need to waste any more of my time doing that because I missed 90% of the lap. So then I'd just take that and make it a forward-facing GoPro, and then I could just do more of that view.
Yeah.
It's just all stuff of knowing how to run and gun the best, depending on like what type of shot I'm getting.
No, that's sick. It's good to know. But you mean you refined your craft. I mean, it's also cool because you don't really see that reverse, like the chase cam that you do every now and then.
That's why I like it.
Yeah, you did our final bout east at Summit Point, and I was like, this is so sick to see. Like, I think, was it on your car, Chad? I think it was on your car. Yeah. Yep.
I was
no, Chad was car 2.
Oh, it's James too. Yep.
Oh yeah, it was car 2. It was weird because I never actually see what my car looks like from the front.
Yep.
No, that's
pretty good.
You were really good with James. I remember that. You were driving really decent, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when James can drive, I can follow him.
Yeah,
for sure.
which fucking sucks because James can drive. He just
his car just prevents him from it.
Let's put it back in the Skyline. If he's in the Skyline, he's the fucking best ever. He's just consistent as fuck.
And that's when I met James, was when he had the Skyline.
Oh, no shit. Up at was it a Thompson? Or where at?
It was at the parking lot that we shall not name in Virginia.
Oh, yep. All right. Now I know what you're talking about. Hey, speaking of like you doing media and stuff and all that, do you have any influences yourself? Like, did anything influence you into your style or?
Big time.
Okay.
I'd probably say mostly one of my biggest motivators and like who I still look up to and get inspiration from, but like I don't try and copy anyone, so like I put my own style to things. But Casey, Shirts Tucked In, him as a media guy is like goals to me, 100%. Like he'll without a doubt be a better photographer than I am. Like he just has a better eye for photos.
Okay.
But I feel like I capture videos in a similar, very relative way that he would capture them. But I also like look up to him that he's also a hell of a driver.
He really is. Yeah.
It's also like that's what I want to be. Like
that's
I want to be able to drive my drift car to the track, have my gear.
Yep.
Throw GoPros on the boys. Like have everyone still get some cool media, but me also drive.
Yeah, you're having it all. You know, it's funny because I don't think a lot of people don't think of Casey like they see him as like, you know, a really good driver, but they don't know that he's a media guy.
I didn't until right now. I thought someone did his media for him. I didn't know that.
He's
a wizard, dude. Like
his photos are crazy.
His photos, like the photos are just out of this world. Like I don't know how sometimes he captures some of the stuff he does, and not only that, but like he can put totally different images, like 10 different styles together in one post that just makes too much sense and like just looks way too good, and like it just like shows
what happened at the event in photos better than most people that I can even think of. And like,
That's cool.
Just
yeah.
seeing, like, just thinking about how his brain works, like taking the photos, knowing what he's like, how he's going to edit them, and also knowing how he's going to put them together and like produce them and post them and stuff like that for people.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
An art form, just an art form. Yeah, he's an amazing artist. I've always looked up to him in all aspects, driving, the media, the percentage, the I really liked his aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like I've always taken small like inspiration from that. You know what I mean? Like his aesthetic's really cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's neat. I like to see if there's any inspiration, because sometimes it could be something silly too or weird. You know what I mean? That caught your eye early on, and you're like, I want to do this. So. No, that's definitely cool. What do you have planned for this year? Like, what do you have anything that you're setting out, or what's some kind of goals before we get out of here? Because I'm going to pee my pants, but I want to.
My biggest goal this year is go international. Like I need to make it happen. I'm like, okay. I'm so close to like being able to do it. Like
Japan, I'm assuming.
Japan, and specifically drift games.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Like the Poland, the
I would like,
Drift Masters would be sick.
I would probably say Drift Masters, and then Japan for this year. I've already talked to them a bunch. I would love to go and shoot Riga and the like especially the stadium event at the end of the year.
So
their last event,
dude.
I imagine the videos that I get at their track, like like it's just like stuff is like they don't even know. Like the shit that I would get is like would just be wild. It would just be like amazing to be able to get that stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Dave Egan, if you're listening, Mr. Barry, Digital Adrenaline, let's because I know he frequently watches. No, he doesn't. Nobody watches this shit.
Dude, I like he's an inspiration for just anyone who's like can get onto a microphone and just talk, dude.
Yeah, and not be Jared Deanda.
Yeah.
Not make one mistake. Like,
yeah,
I have never seen anyone that's just been handed a microphone and he just handled it. Like,
yeah,
you never know that. Like, he turns like there's so many times on media I'm right there where like I'm behind the scenes so like other people don't know. He shuts the microphone off. He's like, I didn't know what the fuck to say during all that. And like,
yeah,
but like. You didn't.
It was
know.
perfect.
Like, he nailed it 110%. And it's like perfect energy, perfect pronunciation of everything. Didn't stutter a single half a second. Like, how the hell are you like this? Like, there's so many times where I'm like driving to events. I'm trying to like, hey, I'm going to Summit Point. 49 times later, I'm like, God, I'm so stupid.
That's
like,
funny.
Just stuff like that, like, and nobody sees it because I get to the event and then I don't post the story at all. I'm like, well,
right,
I'm already here now. Fuck. Like, here's the picture of the entrance. Like,
that's super funny.
It's just stuff like that. But yeah, like
he seems he's very witty, and on snap, quick on his feet, and I never met the guy. Rapper. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's one of those freestyle guys.
Yep.
I never got to meet him, but I think it was actually Rich who was talking about him, saying he's a super nice guy too.
Fantastic.
He said all the guys were.
You can literally just walk up to him and have to talk about cars for an hour.
Honestly, everybody that's international, like Europe, anywhere, like UK, whatever, Ireland, so far that I've ever met has been just a fucking real person, and they can talk. They are legends, as they would say. You know what I mean? To me, they've all been legends. So I'm sure hearing that, I can guarantee you, they're just real people, which is cool. Yep. In America, we have a little bit of those fake, you know what I mean? The fakeness that's going on.
Everybody puts on a little bit of facade, but they're just real.
They're just the same no matter what. Yep. No, that's cool. Fuck yeah. So that's cool. International will be sick. International Barry. Yeah.
Like, dude, with all the guys going to Japan, like, I'd love, like, with Rich and them, like, going there and being able to get the videos and, like, capture those memories for those guys would be priceless for me.
Yeah.
Like, let alone, like, them. And like, if any of the drivers want media, please hit me up. Like, I'm making a pitch deck specific for the Thrash event.
Cool.
And like, I don't know how else to do it. Like, I gotta get to that event. But
yeah, like, that's soon too, isn't it? April.
Yeah, April. I don't have the funds to do it. Like, I'll work my ass off when I get there. Like,
yeah.
So it's just like one of those things where like I'm not concerned whatsoever about getting the content. I just need to get there.
Right. So no, for sure.
Like,
anybody listening, help Barry out. Let's get Barry to fucking Japan for Thrash.
Well, like,
I mean, Bahaku.
Being able to get those type of videos, like there's a couple of guys that I got to buy swivel mounts in Japan, but I don't see a lot of their videos. So like the idea was I wanted to see that point of view, like that perspective of the tracks in Japan.
Yeah, you really don't. You don't see it.
Not.
Yep. Imagine like Mihan, like Mihan, or even like the Bahaku entrance going towards like the wall, then back would be super sick to see.
If you watch, the only one who does it is Toshi, S15 Alpha, but he uses an Insta 360 camera, which is cool, but it's so much editing. Like,
sure,
I can take 20 other swivel mount videos in the same and edit them in the same amount of time that I could do one 360 video. So it's like, why? Like,
yeah.
You know.
No, I feel that. No, that'd be sick.
Being able to have like the front and back, like especially like the rear facing angle at Bihoku of like
that'd be
the
epic.
Homies coming down the entry and chucking it in, like that's what I want. Like I like need that. Because like there's the videos of everyone like at the wall, which is like gangster. You can't get much more like adrenaline junkie than that, and like just feeling the wind of the car like practically knock you over while they go by because they're like steering into the pit to hit the entry.
Yep.
Having that, but it just keep going and they just keep chasing. Like that's the angle that I want. Like it would just be so good. But,
yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
My homies down like Mid Pond, the Drift Things guys, they're going. So.
Oh wow.
It would be cool to see.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, it'd be comfortable too because there's so many people that we know that are going to be there. Exactly. Yeah. And honestly, like even like the Thrash guys, they're really nice. They're super nice.
I talk to them as much as I do with any of you guys.
No, it's super
like,
cool.
It's crazy, like how much like. I do talk to like Toshi and have talked to Casey and it's like all those guys. Like they're all awesome people.
Just normal drifters.
Yeah, it'd be cool to just meet them in real life too. Like
yeah, no hell yeah. That's cool. I like that you have some goals here. Hopefully you hit them. If anybody's listening and has any like help us out, help people out. It'd be cool. Any connections, or if like you're going to be going, or you as a group could collectively put something together to help Barry get over there, talk to him, reach out.
I don't take up a lot of space.
He doesn't. He's very yeah.
Somewhere you won't even know I'm there half the time, but I'll be taking videos while I'm there.
Yep. I think you only did like one really weird noise when you were sleeping, so that's pretty good. You know what I mean? He's very, very respectful. No, fuck yeah. So we're going to wrap this up, but I wanted to ask you, number one, do you have any shout-outs, anything that you want to bring up, anything you want to promote? Now's your time to shine, my guy. Not trying to put you on the spot, but...
I mean, mainly just if you want anything drift merch-wise, please, by all means, order it from my website. The one thing that, like, gets me the most is there's so many people, especially in the off-season, that are like, I'd rather just pay you cash. Like, can I just meet up? Like, can you make it and meet up with me at an event? And it's like, I could, but like, this is how I'm also making a living. So like,
right in the off season, like you need,
it's not gonna help me now. Like,
right.
Just like the support is through my website. Like I pay to run the website, and like it's time. It takes a lot of time to make things presentable for the website, put them on the website, word them for the website. Like, just I know that it's better to pay things cash I still get the money. Like, I
Right.
promise. Like, it still comes to me the same exact way. But like that's the best way. I'm working on adding more products all the time. Like, there's all sorts of stuff on my website. Like, you can go from puzzles, mugs, shirts, tank tops, zip up hoodies, pullover hoodies, hats, like
Condoms.
next coming soon. Condoms.
That would be sick.
Pre-worn by me.
Wow, what a collaboration
that's
that
a
nobody
collab.
knew they needed.
Oh,
The Karoshi condoms.
yeah. I mean, if I wear them, they won't be pre-stretched out, so you're good to go. You know what I mean? No, that's cool. So make sure you support Barry. Any companies you want to shout?
Other than that, I mean, Next Level Racing has gone out of their way to take care of me with having this simulator and letting me make a ton of content for everyone to watch that people seem to enjoy. So I'm going to keep making it. And this rig is just too good to not talk about. So Next Level Racing is definitely top of the list. And
that's awesome.
Koru Works, I love Greg and
the
Adam
homies.
and everyone over there. Like, they're all the most welcoming team. One of my favorite shops in America. Like, literally, if you are anywhere near Atlanta and you don't know where to take your drift car, Koru Works. Like, if you can't take your car there, they'll put you in the right direction to go to the right shop for you. They won't just scumbag you. Like,
they're good people.
Great people.
They're real people. That's the difference. Yep. Fuck yeah.
Ask for Greg and tell him I sent you. And then give him a hug when you leave.
Yep. And boop him in the balls.
That's the rule.
No, that's sick. Anything else you can think of?
And stuff like that. I mean, there's just like tracks like Mid Pond, Ken down there. I don't think people realize how much he actually does. Like, he pretty much lives, breathes Mid Pond. Like, if there's anything going on there, he's taking care of it, and the events just run so smoothly there. Like, it's just, I travel, like, I drove 15 hours each way, just unpaid. Like, it was just like, I wanted to go. So I was like, that's an event that I will never miss, you know? Like,
that's sick.
There's a few of those. Like, there's Mid Pond, Vibes. Vibes is one that's just like, don't miss it. Like, you can't, I can't even put it to video.
We tell people, you know what I mean? But
it's just one of those events, like, you have to be there. It's like a concert. Like, you can't just take a video of it and post it and expect people to feel what you felt.
Right.
Being at Vibes is just unmatched. Like, there's just the level of insanity, but precision is just like, it's crazy. It's pure chaos the entire time.
Calculated risk.
That just works. And it just doesn't make sense. Like, I've been to hundreds of drift events that aren't that insane, that don't run that well. Like,
right.
It's just one of the, like, the cooler events with better cars, great drivers, like, and it's just like a cool place to be. Like, middle of nowhere in Lake Erie. Like, everywhere you go, if you're in a drift car, everyone around there is like, what spaceship are you in? Because this is just like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And it's just like a 240. Like, but it's just like another world. Places like that.
No, yeah, we try to push it. I'm going to start really getting some deep vibe stuff going, you know, coming up. And it's awesome to hear you say that, because honestly, when it takes a lot to coordinate that event, and to when people say it's fucking crazy, but everything's been running smooth so far, we definitely sit back a little bit and go, what the fuck? But it worked. You know what I mean? Like, every single year. So it's very cool to hear you say that. I know Joe I don't know if Joe listens to this. He probably doesn't, to be honest. He doesn't have time, you know what I mean?
Right.
Father, business owner, and drifting, like he's doing his thing. But I know for a fact he would love to hear that. So I'll let him know. I'll pass that on. We have a meeting. Actually, he texted me while we were doing this, so I think it's something about vibes. So, no, that's cool. No, that's cool, man. Barry, it has been an absolute pleasure to sit down and chat with you. Yeah. It's also
I was wondering how we would even get to like an hour and a half talking. And it's,
no, dude, it can
here we are at 3 hours.
3 hours.
Bro, here's the thing. If I wasn't basically filled with urine right now, his AirPod just died. That is crazy. So look at that timing. That is so crazy. That's fun. He actually said too, he's like, I'm going to do it with one AirPod because I can charge the other one while doing this. And I was like, oh, that's a smart idea. I was thinking they were going to last the whole time, but that's fucking great.
Okay.
There he is.
Hey, he's back.
Now I got to go back in audio. AirPods. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good. Yeah.
He probably can't hear us.
It had
Can you hear
enough
us?
of us, I think, because now I can't hear you.
Well, then fuck it. We can hear you just fine.
That's funny.
I guess that means we got to end it.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Settings.
That's crazy. So like it's been 3 hours, but him being on here, I'm surprised it actually lasted that long.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean?
Audio.
Yeah, that's wild. I hear myself going through.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can hear you.
Okay.
We can totally hear you.
Well, okay, perfect. So now I have your audio coming through my TV.
Okay, even better.
Wow.
I'll even do this echo cancellation. Let's see. And now I shouldn't hear myself.
Okay.
A little bit, but yeah. Hey, so Barry, that's fucking crazy timing. That's ironic as hell too.
Wild.
Yeah. I wanted to say that even though we get to hang out, me and you have had some long drives together where we get to talk and hang out, and we see you at the track. But when I see you at the track, I don't really get to hang, you know what I mean? We play video games together. We're hanging out, but we're not on a deep level. We're not talking about stuff. I really appreciate you coming on here and diving into some of this stuff with us, because it was a really cool look into your life, into what you're doing, and to let other people see that as well. So I really do appreciate your time. And I'm sure everybody else that's listening and watching will as well. So it's very cool. I just want everybody to know to always support your media, always support your homies. So check out Digital Adrenaline on all the social medias. He is doing big things for Assetto Corsa. He's doing big things for drifting and media footage, and just support him, because that's what we should do. And besides that, I just wanted to say thanks, man, for everything you do for the community.
Yeah, you honestly push this community further than a lot of people. Like, you don't stop, ever. There's always, every time I go on Instagram, there's always a Digital Adrenaline post. Always. So there's always something out there new to watch, and it's always good.
It gets me through the day, too. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things that I can't, have bad thoughts when I'm making cool videos of drifting and stuff like that. And, playing Assetto, or just drifting is just the best outlet that I've found my entire life, of doing stupid shit to have a good time. Drifting is it. So once I drove, it was then I sat on my phone all right, where's my media? That was that's where it changed, and that's where I was okay, I can kick it up a notch. And that's where I just went crazy with it. Last year I did over 2 million steps, which is bonkers.
Yeah.
Barry, I'm gonna say this live on air, so it is recorded. When you're gonna start, when you get back behind the wheel and you want media, I will come out and shoot you. I'm nothing crazy, but if I focus on you, I know I can make a really cool video.
I know you could too.
I would love to do that. That would be really, really fucking cool. So when if you're gonna do like a private Club Loose day or something, you let me know and I'll be there 100%. That would be fucking awesome too. That'd be fun. I'd love to try to give back. You know what I mean? It might suck, but just the opportunity to do that would be really, really fucking cool. I was actually really bummed because Scott Hastings hit me up. They were doing something and I can't remember why I couldn't make it out, but I was like, oh my God, like, I'd love to try to give back to, you know what I mean? Like they do it for me all the time. If I could do it in return, holy hell. And I really wanted to, and I didn't get a chance to, but I'm going to. Like I want to do that. If I'm not driving an event, I'm bringing my gear, and I'd love to try to focus on some of the people that have focused on me. You know what I mean? That's awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool. And then have another like podcast afterward of like the flip flop.
Oh yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be wild. That'd be cool. But no, seriously, thank you. I'm sure we're going to be hearing more from you, and we're doing stuff with you, which is really cool. So I thought it was really cool to bring you in, talk about Assetto and stuff. And I didn't even want to dive into the Pilot Podcast stuff. You know what I mean? Like what we're doing for the Assetto Corsa Challenge. I wanted to focus on you. You know what I mean? This is your 3 hours. So. We'll be doing more. You're going to hear a bunch more from Barry. He is going to be judging the Pilot Podcast Assetto Corsa Challenge aside of myself, and Chad's going to try to do our name good by driving with Rich in it, and we'll see what happens. You remember, it's a leaderboard, so you better fucking get up there, buddy. You got to get high. You need to be up there.
Well,
but yeah,
can't guarantee anything.
It's all for fun. That's what we do. It's all fun. But anyway, Barry, again, thank you so much. I'll see you backstage.
No
you have
problem.
anything that you want to say?
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, bud. Yep.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you. We'll see you backstage. Love you.
Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.